What's going on, everybody? Who be 186 back again with another podcast, the Overrated Podcast, episode 75. I am your co-host, Hoovy 186, and with me today is Traditionalist 101. Like always, what's going on?
Yes, the Traditionalist 101 is here. Hold on to tradition. You know how that works, folks. When you hold on to it, things can actually function properly. But anyway, yeah, it's been well, it wasn't that really of a great weekend for me. I pretty much had to work. We had to do like an inspection in the building, and the inspection got canceled because there was a lot of trouble that was going on. So I don't
On
know if
whose
it's going to be, huh?
on whose end?
Well, for some reason the fire alarms were not working properly. Like they do like an inspection annually,
Yeah,
and
but you said they got canceled, right?
yeah, because they were having a lot of trouble with the system. So
Oh,
it got canceled, and we most likely gonna have to reschedule another Saturday, which is unfortunate. But at least I got some OT, so that's fine. How was your weekend?
pretty much same old, same old. I took Friday off because I didn't feel like going into work, so I just took it off. Um, so that was good. Um, and then I worked the rest of the week, but I have something to say, right? I have something to say. I have a rant that
Okay.
I need to go on. Now I know you like to go off on your rants about comic books, even though I always tell you that if you want to talk about comic books, do it on your own channel. I always
Well,
tell you,
if it's a really big deal, I would definitely like to talk about it on here. If
no,
it's
no. Because here's the thing. Now you condition the audience to expect it. That's the problem.
no, that's not true.
Yeah, it is. But,
That's not true.
here's the thing, right? The thing is that I didn't see you complain this week, so that's good. But I have a complaint. I
No,
have something to say.
you got
Right?
something to say. All right, I'm all ears, man. Go
Let's
ahead.
go through the screen share. Hopefully it won't. Hopefully this won't take too long because this annoys the shit out of me. Okay.
Okay.
This. Okay. Unfortunately, we had to talk about this, right? Now, who you see right here, Jay Briscoe, right? I don't think you know who he is, right?
What's
He's
going
a,
on, conspiracy agent?
yeah. Oh yeah. Shout. Oh yeah. Let me shout out a couple guys first. Nolan, thank you for being here. Conspiracy agent, thank you for being here.
Yeah, brother.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this guy right here, Jamin Pugh, right? Better known, his in-ring name was Jay Briscoe.
Okay.
He was a tag team wrestler for Ring of Honor for 20 years. Been there for a long, long time. Been there since day one of that Ring of Honor promotion. Now I have like one of their first um DVDs, Ring of Honor, one of Ring of Honor first DVDs, and he was on that show wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
Him and his brother. His brother is Mark Briscoe. They're the Briscoe brothers, also known as them boys. They've like I said, they've been around for 20 some odd years, right?
Okay.
Arguably one of the best tag teams ever to wrestle. When you look at their body of work, it's amazing with their career. Unfortunately, he passed away last week in a car accident.
Oh man.
Yeah, passed away. Unfortunately, he wasn't wearing his seatbelt. But the thing is that the woman who he collided with was wearing her seatbelt, and they both died. They were both driving Silverados, and those are like big trucks. They were in opposite lanes, and for whatever reason, the police are still investigating the accident. Her truck somehow got into their lane, and they had a head on collision,
Wow.
and both drivers died, and unfortunately for Jay, both his daughters was in the truck with him.
And they died too.
No, 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 no.
Oh.
They did get serious injuries, but there was some encouraging sign because apparently one of them suffered a broken back. I think one of them suffered a broken leg, an open fracture, leg break. But apparently both of them are recovering. So that's a sign of good news. And a sea of shitty news, right? So
Yeah.
yeah, so he passes away, and like I said, there are donations out there, and those are doing well. But here's something that annoys me about this whole situation, right? Now, with the thing with Jay Briscoe, dude's been like, by all accounts, a family man through and through, a religious man through and through. Even though he curses like a sailor, but he's a religious man, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, for years, for years they like I said, they've been a top tag team. They had offers with WWE in the past. They rejected it mainly because they didn't want to move their family out of their location, which was in, I think they're from Delaware,
Okay.
right? So they didn't want to move because they had a business on the side, and their family lives are all there. And in order for them to, like, I guess they were offered NXT contracts. So in order for them to fulfill those contracts, they would have to move to Orlando, and they feel like they wouldn't, they couldn't do that to their family. You get what I'm saying?
Oh, so that's why they in renew their contract because family things, pretty
That's
much.
why they didn't go. That's why they didn't go to WWE because of the contract. Because of the contracts.
Okay.
Now, the thing is, once Ring of Honor was pretty much bought by Tony Khan, who owns AEW, after St. Clair decided to bow out of of that business, they they were given offers to come to AEW. The problem is Jay Briscoe a long time ago had some tweets pretty much trashing the LGBTQ community, right?
Oh.
And even though he apologized, and even though by all accounts, people said that he's a changed man, that the guy who he was is not the guy who he is now.
Right.
Apparently, there are people at Turner, and when I mean Turner, I'm talking specifically TBS. They have executives over there who were never going to allow Tony Khan to sign them to AEW because
Wow.
of those tweets. Now, mind you, it's him and his brother. Both of them can't come to AEW.
Mm-hmm.
Now, but when Tony Khan bought Ring of Honor, he obviously kept them in the Ring of Honor deals, and he would have kept them under the Ring of Honor banner, right? In
Yeah.
fact, they were currently the Ring of Honor Tag Team Champions, currently. Now, obviously, since his passing, they wanted to do a tribute show to him, and the people at Turner said no.
Wait, say that one more time. Say that one more time.
They wanted to give him they wanted to do a tribute show because listen, obviously he's technically part of that AEW Ring of Honor family,
Yes.
and also a lot of people in AEW and hell even a lot of people in WWE. Anybody who's wrestled for Ring of Honor in those 20 years have had interactions with him.
Right.
Have had interactions with him, so they know him. A lot of them are close friends with him, and seeing that Ring of Honor is owned by Tony Khan, they wanted to do a tribute show to him, but the Turner broadcaster said no. The most they can do is a graphic, acknowledging his passing. That's it.
That's it.
That's it.
Wow.
Complete complete horseshit. Complete horseshit. And the reason why I call it horseshit is because of this bullshit right here. Right? Questions of hypocrisy loom over Warner Brothers Discovery, reportedly preventing AEW Dynamite Jay Briscoe tribute show.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So I already told you that. But here's the fucking show that they broadcasted after fucking after after AEW. Right? Where this bullshit I show at? Let me read it right here. It's important to circle back to fuse how do you pronounce this word?
Uh,
Contrition. Despite him,
contrition. Yeah.
I got it right. I got it right. Despite him reportedly right righting wrongs and trying to change WBD Warner Brothers Discovery, still blocked the Briscoes from any appearances. But Dana White, UFC president, was captured on video putting his hands on his wife. Despite that, WBD has proceeded with power slap, the slap fighting league run by Dana White. Seemingly, they had no inch off of his coverage despite bombing in the ratings, which didn't do well ratings wise. Those hypocrisy didn't go unnoticed. So here you have a guy who had meant so much to the business, who had meant so much to all your athletes in that locker room, to the athletes across the country. Hell, they did a tribute to this man in Japan. In Japan, they because he wrestled there, he wrestled for New Japan, he wrestled for Noah. They had a joint show, and they honored that man in Japan. Now again, I always say you always have to be careful what you say. You have to always be careful what you tweet.
Yeah. You always said that. Yeah,
Right?
you have.
I always say that, right? But if you are trying to right your wrong, you should be allowed a level of forgiveness also, especially if you are trying to better yourself and to better understand, you know, the stuff that was going on in the past and learning how to right your wrongs. People should be allowed to say sorry, and they should be allowed forgiveness.
Correct.
But yet not only do they not get that, and you have the fucking audacity to say that to them to prevent them from honoring him, but you put that bullshit at Power Slap League afterwards, after the guy who's the face of it was caught on video slapping his wife. And yet not only did you not say nothing about that, all you did was push the show back 1 week. Like what the fuck is going like what the fuck is going on over there?
I find it. Yeah, I also find it really hilarious how they really pretty much didn't do any type of punishment as far as Dana White goes. I mean, pushing it for 1 week, that's not a punishment.
No.
It's not a punishment.
And the thing, if you wanted to broadcast the slap league thing, whatever.
That league is such a garbage show. Like seeing who can slap the hardest. Like, bro, I cannot watch that show. That thing is complete other trash, in my opinion. Do you watch it?
No, fuck no, no,
I don't see what's the point of it.
bro. If I wanted to see two people slap each other, I just go on YouTube. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, what skill level? What kind of strategy is there for you to apply when it just coming to just slapping someone in the side of the face?
It's horseshit. But here's the thing: you have all this hatred for the Briscoe brothers, but yet you allowed this bullshit on TV after what he did. And the thing is that people are not held accountable because, like, well, who's gonna question them? Who are they gonna answer to? Who
Yeah,
are these executives gonna answer to? Nobody. They can take getting criticism because they're not gonna see it. They're too busy living their rich lives. They don't give a flying fuck. But you have a guy who whether you like it or not is part it made played a major role in that brand in AEW existing. The
yeah,
matches though the Briscoes had with the Young Bucks, the matches that they had with Adam Cole, especially him because Jay Briscoe was a former Ring of Honor champion, right? All the matches he had with Adam Cole, Kevin Steen, all those guys who are stars now, whether they're on AEW or even WWE, right? They played a major part in that wrestling revolution.
yeah,
And you want to sit there on your fucking bullshit ass high horse saying, "Oh, we can't honor this man," and it's one. Look, if you don't want to hire them, then it's whatever. But at least allow your talent to honor their friend. And all
yeah.
you gave them was some stupid fucking was a fucking a graphic. That's it. That's all you allowed them to do, a graphic. And then you put this bullshit at Power Slap League um um afterwards. Complete horseshit.
A garbage show that doesn't even need to be aired. Like that thing wasted so much of my time when I would try to watch a couple of clips on YouTube or on Twitter. I said to myself, this there's just no way that this is a sport. And despite that we have to constantly hear about it or watch it, whether it's on ads or on social media or whatnot, I'm still in shock that they didn't give Dana White any type of repercussions whatsoever. But they're going to punish this other guy, like punish him to where they're only giving them like what, a screenshot is what you said. That's
Uh, uh,
it,
that's it.
a screenshot.
Screenshot
That's
capture.
that's
That's
pretty
it.
much that's pretty much what you're giving them, a
And,
screenshot.
you're giving us this fucking bullshit ass slap league. Dude, you go to South Beach right now, you can find two bitches slapping each other right now. You know what I'm saying? Like it's such horseshit, man. Like it really is, man. It's such horseshit. Man, let
I
me
mean, has anybody else said anything about it? Like as far as
every,
other
every,
wrestlers?
no. Okay, here's the thing. The thing with Tony Khan and AEW is that he's in a no win situation
Oh,
because
really?
right now they have his show is broadcast on their network, and two he's trying to renew their rights fees. He's trying to get more money for the company, get more money to keep the show running on TBS and TNT. So what's he gonna do? He's not gonna rock the boat. He got a promotion to run. He's got families to feed.
Right.
And AEW is a benefit to the wrestling business. I don't give a fuck if you don't like the show or not. Having competition is always a good thing.
Absolutely.
So he's not gonna because his hand is tied. Like there really is nothing he can do.
Oh, okay.
Like
So that,
I think what he said that I see Nolan in the chat. I think what they did, he said they should have dedicated an AEW Dark show to Jay. What they did, they filmed a tribute show for him for I want to say either Dark Elevation or AEW Dark, And then when the Ring of Honor show is going to be in March, they'll do a tribute show to him. They'll do a tribute show to him there as well. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. But when it comes to like doing it on TBS, his hands are tied. His hands are tied because like at the end of the day, he got to make sure that AEW can get a new rights deal where they can make more money for the company, more money for the wrestlers, more money for the employees.
So you think he'll be hurting the company if he does try to go
Yeah,
against the
if you try to go against him, all you gonna do is just hurt the company. That's all you're gonna do,
Hmm.
and it's unfortunate. Cause I know look if anyone seen the tribute show they did for Brody Lee, right? I don't think you know him either, right? Brody Lee was a wrestler under contract with him. He passed away tragically a couple years ago, and they did a phenomenal tribute show to him.
Oh wow. Okay.
They did a phenomenal. To me it was one of the best wrestling shows I've ever seen. It was it was a great show, and I know Tony would have done something similar for Jay Briscoe. So
Right.
he grew up a fan of Ring of Honor, and he bought Ring of Honor and in small part so that he can sign these guys. So he can sign these guys.
Hmm.
So
Wow,
all
man,
right,
that's it. Let me ask you one. This is a random question. It really had something not wrong. It doesn't have anything to do with your rant, but just I always wanted to know your opinion. Were you okay that WWE never did a tribute for Chris Benoit?
they did,
Oh, they did.
they did, yeah. But
Wasn't
here's
it like? Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
here's the thing with that. They did that the day the pretty much the day they discovered that he was dead. They had no idea what happened after. They didn't have no idea of the circumstances that happened. Because before it was just the news that three people dead. That's all it was reported at the time.
Yeah.
And then the next day when things started to come out, then they got criticized heavily for doing the tribute show to Benoit. They got criticized heavily, and then you also had to take into account this was at the same time when Benoit died. It was around the same time Vic McMahon had his own. They were doing a storyline where Vince McMahon died of a limousine explosion.
Limousine explosion. I remember that. I actually saw it. I don't know if you saw it, but I actually saw it on
Mhm.
TV. Yeah,
Yeah,
I remember that.
you know what I'm saying,
And
and
and I remember something about that. I thought he didn't want to do it because he wanted to continue his storyline. From what I thought.
who Vince McMahon?
Yeah, that
That
he
was that,
didn't. Go ahead.
bro. That was the whole storyline was him dying in a limousine accident.
Yeah, but the problem was, from what I've heard though, Chris Benoit dying kind of ruined
Yeah,
his
it did.
storyline.
Absolutely
Yeah,
did. Yeah, it did.
yeah.
Yeah, but they did it. They did a tribute show for Benoit. But anyway, hold on. Give me one tiny second. Let me check something real quick. I'll be back in a couple minutes.
Uh, okay. Well, while he's gone, for the time being, look. If we've been seeing hypocrisy in and out when it comes to the media or social media or as far as the bosses, the people who are in suits, they try to constantly virtue signal and try to showcase that, oh, we care about people's feelings, we care about giving a good image, to the public. But yet when they go on the other side, because look, at the end of the day, everything is all about money, and they know that what happened with Dana White. Listen, I don't feel sorry for her because again, she was the one that attacked him first. But at the same time, when you are a public figure, yes, you do have to watch out what you do. Like I understand that, but on the flip side of it, you still have to defend yourself. But at the end of the day, though, they didn't pretty much do anything to him at all. Postponing a show a week later, that's not punishment.
Right. I want to give a shout out to Nolan because he reminded me of the Raw 30th anniversary show. I'm not watching it, but I wanted to make sure my mom watched it. So thank you, Nolan, for reminding me.
Oh,
You
the
should
Raw
watch it.
30th anniversary. Oh, okay. I'm surprised you're not going to watch it.
No, I'm not. I have no interest. If something good happens, then I'll watch it later. Um. Okay, so where are we at? Okay, so FTR versus Briscoe different critical drop was a fantastic match. Yeah, all three of their matches were fantastic. All three of them.
If critical drop, if you had to rank, what would your rank be from the three matches? And the same thing goes for you, Hoovy.
I would go with the dog collar match that the last one they did was one. Their second match was 2 out of 3 fall. Like to me, each match they had got better and better. So pretty much
Okay.
the third match was the best one, followed by the second one, followed by the first one. But all three of those matches, if you love tag team wrestling, watch those matches.
Yeah. All
And
right.
so,
Yeah. I was asking because I'm gonna go on YouTube, later see if I could watch highlights of it.
mhm.
So I wanted to know your opinion and critical drop. I wanted to know your opinion.
and,
What's your matches from
and,
one to
and
three?
honestly, it's not just those matches, bro. Like you did 20 years of these guys wrestling in Ring of Honor, putting on kick-ass matches. Like, okay, you remember the world's greatest tag team? Do you remember those guys? Shelton
Um.
Benjamin and Charlie Haas.
Yes. 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 Yes.
They were in Ring of Honor for a time, and they wrestled the Briscoes. They had fantastic matches with those guys.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, dude, I'm telling you, man. Like, those guys. When I tell you that those guys are some of the best tag teams, especially over the last 20 years, but really, in my opinion, one of the best tag teams of all time. I'm not shitting with you. 100%. The only and the thing with them that makes their run like great and sad at the same time is that they never got an opportunity to showcase their skills on the biggest stage,
Right.
which was in WWE or in AEW. They never got an opportunity to show off on the biggest stage. But make no mistake about it, these two dudes, Jay and Mark, legit, legit, legit badasses in the ring.
That's cool.
Absolutely. F is in the chat. How you doing, F? How you doing, bro?
What's going on, F?
All right. So quick.
Fred, I think you left, right? Fred, you went back to your state. Correct me if I'm wrong, because I either you're still here and we never got a chance to play pool, but let me know. Go ahead.
Okay. As goes, Critical Drop said this is the same company who backed Amber Heard 100%, and it cost them millions of dollars in Suicide Squad 2. When Warner Brother did that, I'm not surprised. And also something I heard is that our good friend Ezra Miller, aka the Flash, one of the things that he's been accused of is child grooming.
No, that part I didn't know anything about. Oh, you know what? No, 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 no. Yeah, I did hear about that. I did hear about that.
Child grooming, but yet, hey, he can still play Flash, but we only give Jay Briscoe a fucking graphic. That's it. Fucking horseshit, man. All right, so Nolan said that the Brody Lee show was beautiful. Absolutely, absolutely. And let me see what else there. Um, let me see. Uh, yeah. His oldest son. Oh, hold on. Okay. As a kid, Eddie Guerrero tribute was amazing. Yeah, I do remember that show too. They did a great show with that. Um,
They banned the name Chris Benoit. I didn't know that.
yeah, they did. They don't say his name no more.
Oh snap! Yeah, I had no idea about that.
Yeah,
Okay.
they don't say his name no more. His oldest son is currently alive. Yeah. His oldest son from his, I think, first marriage, and yeah, I think his name is David Benoit. Looks just like him. Looks just like him. He does wrestle. I don't know if he wrestled anymore. He definitely wrestled before. Um, yeah, he looked just like him.
Okay. So and you say he looks just like Benoit, and
Hmm.
he's okay. Wow. He doesn't. And you say he doesn't wrestle anymore. Was he good? Were you impressed with his wrestling?
I've never seen him wrestle, but I've heard him do interviews and stuff like that,
Okay.
talking about his dad, and he's just in a very tough. He's in a very tough spot because WWE's not. It would never hire him. WWE and
Oh, you
yeah.
serious? Oh man.
I don't think AEW will hire him either.
Oh, you gotta be
Yeah, it
kidding
just
me.
he's just a victim of circumstance. So
Crap, man. That
yeah,
sucks.
yeah. But anyways, yeah. So hopefully, rest in peace to Jay Briscoe. Um,
Absolutely.
and hopefully the family can cope, man. Like Mark, I know Mark. Like Jay Briscoe had three kids, the $2 that were in the hospital, and prayers are out for them for their continued recovery. And they had a boy who, fortunately, he wasn't in the truck. So yeah, he has so he had a son and two daughters. I know Mark has like five kids, and it was Mark's birthday, his brother's birthday, a few days ago, like pretty much a couple days after his brother passed away. So that has to be like fucking terrible.
Yeah. Wow.
So yeah, RIP to Jay, and prayers up for the family. So I just hope that I just hope that things could look better for them in the future, because this has to be fucking terrible, fucking
Yeah, it
terrible.
is.
And,
Yeah, it
and
is, man.
you see what happened when corporations, when you hear the argument that corporations should be looked upon as people. This is when you can show them that that's a load of horse shit. I'm not gonna go too deep into it, because we'll enter territory that I don't want to enter. But
Okay.
it's horse shit that they're considered human beings by the Supreme Court. But they can go fuck themselves. Anyways, NFL playoffs. Let's go to the final four.
Uh, I've been waiting. I've been actually waiting to talk about this, but man,
Cincinnati versus Kansas City, San
oh,
Francisco, and the Philadelphia Eagles.
wait,
In
wait,
my
aren't you going to talk about
I'll talk about the past game, but these are the four best teams in the NFL. These are, if there was ever a doubt that we have the four best teams in the NFL in this game, right? All four. We'll look through it. Jacksonville and Kansas City. And here's the thing: Jacksonville, they had a valiant effort.
yeah,
Valiant effort. There's no shame in losing to Kansas City, right? But Kansas City is a well-oiled machine. They do have a worry with with Patrick Mahomes getting hurt. So
which is why I kind of wanted to stop you real quick
mhm.
when you had said that Cincinnati, San Francisco, the Eagles, and the Chiefs are the four best teams. Not anymore. If Mahomes is not healthy, I'm not putting them as far as the. I mean, you kind of have to by default because they're all the top four remaining teams that remains. But I think now with Mahomes not being healthy, they're the weakest of the four of the bunch. They're the weakest out of the whole entire group. When I saw what happened to Patrick Mahomes,
Mhm.
even the announcers, the broadcaster was talking about it. Dude, he couldn't even step on his foot when he was just doing a handoff. I don't know if you saw that.
Yeah, I saw that he was struggling.
He couldn't even hand the ball over. Like, you mean to tell me that you're in so much pain that you couldn't even just hand the ball to your running back? Dude, I just with that alone, I don't see them winning this game. Not if he's healthy. This changes the whole entire game plan now. I guarantee you, they are going to go after this dude hard.
Oh yeah,
Um,
yeah. You have to. Kind of have to. But with that said, look, he's
I mean,
going to do
I'm expecting to see blitzes all day, and they're not. He's not going to be able to run. He's going to have to pretty much be a. He's just going to have to transition into a Tom Brady slash Peyton Manning from this day
what
forward.
Kansas City is going to have to do is what Buffalo couldn't do, right? And let's talk about this game. I have some smoke for the Buffalo Bills, right? Now, Cincinnati came into that stadium. They decided to literally they came to your house. They wiped all the snow all over. They tracked all the snow all over your house. Sat on your couch. took over your TV, and said you ain't gonna do shit about it. They punked the Buffalo Bills yesterday. They punked them. And here's the thing about Buffalo, right? As
Yeah.
great as that team is, they have two big weaknesses. Too big. Two big, massive weaknesses.
One, they
They
can't
can't,
run. But go
yeah, they
ahead.
can't run, and their defense is very overrated. You could run on that team, and that's
Oh,
exactly
you think the defense is overrated?
overrated.
I don't know if I would go that far now.
I mean,
Overrated?
they gave up 31 points to fucking to a third stringer. They gave up 31 points to a third stringer.
Well, it may have been 31 points to a third stringer, but still keep in mind, you still had elite talent on that team. You still had elite wide receivers who arguably in top five. You know what I'm saying?
No, but no receiver, like they didn't do anything in that game. And Jalen Waller had a bad game, and we still put up 31 points on them. That defense is not even the game when we lost in Buffalo the first time, right? We
Hmm.
ran all over them, and our run game wasn't great, but we ran all over them that game.
Yeah.
So yeah, their weaknesses got exposed, and Cincinnati exposed them, and they had no answer.
Uh.
And props to Cincinnati, man. Like, look, to me, with the Mahomes injury,
Mhm.
I have to go with Kansas City. I have to go with Cincinnati winning the game.
Oh, okay, okay. So you agree with me?
Yeah, I have to go with Cincinnati. Now, would it surprise me if Kansas City win? No, it wouldn't surprise me because look, that they have a lot of great players on that team. They're a very talented team, and in my opinion, I think they have the best coach in the league in Andy Reid.
Yeah. Well, but if you're gonna talk about the Chiefs, I'm still going to give Jags, a shout out because it's
Yeah,
not like they were still, in that game. I thought everything had changed once what's the running back name? Travis.
Etienne.
Yeah, he has that weird last name. I can't. I don't know how to say. How do you say it?
Etienne.
Etienne, yeah, Travis Etienne, yeah. When he had rushed for that touchdown, dude, I couldn't believe how fast that dude was.
Yeah.
Oh my
Honestly,
goodness.
it was the best. It was the best game of the week of the playoff weekend.
Yeah,
They put up the best fight out of any team. So
yeah,
props
I agree.
to them. Yeah, props to them, man. But they're a year away. Like
Yeah, and mind you, that was the exact same drive when Lawrence got sacked, and they still went down the field and scored.
yeah,
So shout out to the Jags for sure. The team did not do well in the beginning of the season, and for them to come back, yeah, and people may argue that well it's a weak division. I understand that, but they still did their thing. They went
yeah,
to the second round, and they unfortunately they just lost to a much superior team. That's all it was.
yeah. Much more experience, a better team, and there's no shame in that. Like there's no shame in that. Like here's the thing with Buffalo, right? Losing
Hmm.
to Cincinnati, there's nothing wrong with losing to Cincinnati, but you got punked by Cincinnati.
Yeah,
They punked your ass, and you had all the momentum. You were at home. Damar Hamlin was in the skybox cheering for you guys, and thankfully he's doing well. You had all that advantage, and you still got your ass kicked.
and the reason why you mentioning punked was not overstated is because even since when the game had started, you saw that their front line was dominating throughout the whole entire game,
Hmm.
and their defensive line, was constantly adding pressure on Allen, where he couldn't throw the ball accurately at all.
And he is susceptible to, as great as Josh Allen is, he is susceptible to the turnover.
Yes.
And I remember saying this last week. He can't play the way that he played against Miami because he played the way in Miami the way he played against Cincinnati, which he did. They were going to lose, and that's exactly what happened.
Yeah, and I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, Burrow. I think Burrow had a sack too. He got sacked also, but throughout most of the game, he was pretty much comfortable in the pocket. They really couldn't gain that much pressure on him after that. I mean, he passed. I think what was it? I forgot what play it was, but like there was this one good play that they had. I I can't remember what it was. There were just too many games to watch, but
Yeah.
you could tell by watching that whole game that Burrow, in my opinion, maybe you disagree, but I think this game officially he surpassed Allen. With that game, he completely surpassed Allen. But there is people who still put Allen as number two. I think Burrow certainly deserved to at least be number two behind Patrick Mahomes. Do you still consider Allen to be the second best quarterback?
As far as ability, yes, but like you can't like. I mean, look, if you look at what Joe Burrow's done his first 3 years in the league, it's hard to argue. It's hard to argue those numbers. He's one game away from going to the Super Bowl in back-to-back years.
Yeah,
That's impressive. That's impressive. So
yeah. And you could see how when you was watching the game, you could see that they were getting frustrated. So many penalties. Like I couldn't believe how many penalties this team was calling. Like, it seemed like they weren't ready. They weren't disciplined. And when they get and that stupid false start that they had in the fourth quarter, I don't know if you remember it. This is crunch time, and then they had a false start in the fourth quarter. That team was clearly not together. Allen was off the whole entire game, incomplete on 4th and 6. You know what I'm saying? They were, and I think he was what 4-12 and third down efficiency. I have to go back and look, but I pretty much think he was. It was like somewhere around like 4-10 or 4-12 in third down.
yeah,
That dude did not play well in that game. He did not play well. He did not play well. And shout out to, like you said, shout out to the Bengals running game, because Joe Maxon, you know how many yards that dude ran? 105.
mm-hmm. Yeah,
105
they ran it down their throats. They
from
control they
yeah,
control the game.
20 carries. He pretty much averaged 5 yards per carry. That so for you to say that their defense is overrated, well, hey, look, they couldn't stop the run. They couldn't stop the run. And I mean, am I saying that that they need to change or they need to rebuild? No, I'm not saying that. But did you see the video of Diggs yelling at Allen?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I saw it.
Yeah. And look, I don't blame Diggs for yelling at him. The guy wasn't throwing the ball right. He was being inaccurate in all of his throws. And yet you have the another guy named Burrow. He's pretty much throwing passes to pretty much anybody he wants. Anybody he wants. Freaking Chase was killing you guys. Chase was killing you. Hurst, I think his name, was killing you. Perrin was killing you. And the reason why I say that is because all of them had 5 catches. All three of those guys had 5 catches. So they couldn't stop the running game. They couldn't stop the wide receivers. So what were they going to do? The only thing they could have done is try to at least play catch up, but they couldn't even do that. So listen, bro, but the we need to show some more respect with Cincinnati. That team, I'm not gonna say that team is elite, but yo, they have the potential to win the Super Bowl. They could beat anybody at this point.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. On the other side, Philadelphia made quick work of the Giants. It pretty much was pretty much a continuing story of what was going on throughout the season. Because they beat their ass during the season and
hmm
they beat their ass during the playoff game. So
I didn't, to be honest with you, that game I can't really say much about that game, because once I saw they were getting destroyed, I actually fell asleep.
mhm.
So I'm not gonna sit here and act like as if I know what happened. Dude, I don't know too much of what happened, because I fell asleep because the game was boring.
Yeah, I'll tell you what happened. Philadelphia just kicked their ass from start to finish.
Oh,
And
that's it.
yeah, that's pretty much what happened. Like, and they're the number one seed for a reason. And if Jalen Hurts is healthy, they're going to be dangerous. But so is San Francisco because, like, again, it was 19. I think the score was 19-12. And yes, like, obviously, I've always thought that the Cowboys were a talented team. I thought they were talented enough to hang with San Francisco, right? But obviously, you needed Dak Prescott to play elite, and he wasn't.
Yeah.
Was in the league. And in fairness to him, like he's going up against a great defense. They're a great
Well,
defense San Francisco
Well,
was good
well,
defense.
well. To be fair, in the first half, all you saw was defense. That's all you saw. They were playing great defense on both sides. I think the score was tied pretty much throughout the whole entire first half. So both guys, both defensive played well. They both played well,
Yeah, absolutely.
and and dude, I don't think I ever remember any football game where they are constantly talking about the field goal kicker. That dude,
uh,
that guy, they were making fun of, not making fun of him, but they were pretty much saying how even if his first field goal wasn't blocked,
yeah, that was not going in.
it was not
Yeah, that was not going in.
it was not going in. It is unbelievable how a field goal kicker could just change everything in the game. Pretty much now everything is four down territory if you don't trust them.
But they're not the reason why he's not the reason why they lost.
No. He's not the reason, but it just goes to show how when people make fun of the Cowboys, something always seems to go wrong with that team. It's always something. It's always it's a quarterback issue. Oh, it's special teams issue. Oh, it's a running game issue. Or whatever it is, and now it's a field goal, a kicker issue. Like seriously,
No,
it seems like
I don't think it's that at all. I just think that they're just one of the teams. They're a team. That's it. They're a good team, but they're not great. The problem is that we have all these fucking pundits on TV who always talk about them like they're the fucking New England Patriots of the last decade, and they're not.
well, unfortunately, they keep saying that they are America's team. I think because you could easily say that the Dallas Cowboys are like the Lakers version of the Lakers or the New York Knicks. You know what I mean?
Why? Why?
Good question. Good question.
Like,
I
come
don't
on.
know. I don't know. I don't know why.
Do they have? I get the Lakers because they have the most championships. I get it.
Doesn't Boston have the most?
I mean, they're neck and neck, but the Lakers are a story franchise. And
Okay.
I'm not saying the Cowboys are not, but they're not. But San Francisco has just as many championships as they do.
Yeah.
And truth be told, they've had more recent success than they do. Yeah, we don't talk about San Francisco the way that they talk about Dallas all the fucking time.
Yeah,
Like I
you're
said,
right.
like I said, they're the most overrated franchise in pro sports. They are.
Oh man, yes. This is the overrated podcast, and so there you have it. An overrated team, the Dallas Cowboys. Oh my gosh. So speaking of the San Francisco 49ers,
Mhm.
are you going to give Brock some more props on movie?
He played well. He played
Now
well.
and the reason why I'm bringing him up because once again I'm calling you out for saying that you didn't want to talk about a third string quarterback.
No, I don't. No, I don't because the thing is that and he played well, but he has a lot of great players around him. Like that team. Look, they were great with Jimmy Garoppolo, and I'm not. I don't think highly of Jimmy Garoppolo as a as a quarterback. I think he's very average.
Mm-hmm.
But they have a great team around him.
Well, what I'm going to say this, like I said on Twitter, just a few moments ago. Well, yeah, I said this yesterday after they won.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to be the starting quarterback next season.
Like I said, he deserved a shot. He definitely deserves a shot. You know what I mean? But like I said, like I said, like we mentioned last week, Garoppolo's not gonna be back there. And Trey Lance is still recovering from injury, so we'll see. But he definitely deserves. You can't you can't do what he did and not deserve a shot. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, I'm glad that you say that. I'm glad that you came
Yeah.
to your senses
All
and
right, but
given
okay.
him props the way that he deserved. And the reason and look, I understand that he has elite talent, around him. But like I said before, remember when you pay attention in the first half, they were gunning for that dude.
Yeah,
There was constant pressure, but yet he was comfortable and he was still accurate on his throws, and Dak Prescott was not. That was the difference between the two quarterbacks. But there was pressure on both sides. But you saw the guy who Mr. Irrelevant against a veteran, and who performed better? Brock. He was the one that performed better. So everybody needs to finally give that dude props, including you.
but who do you think wins this game?
Um, I'm going with San Francisco.
I'm going Philadelphia. It's gonna be a close game, but I just feel like Philadelphia all year when Hurts is healthy and they're doing their thing. I just think they're the best team in the NFL, especially best team in the NFC. But like like I said, if San Fran wins, I wouldn't be surprised.
I mean, if he's 100% healthy, I could probably agree with you there, but I don't think he's healthy. I don't
That's
I
true.
don't think I don't think I don't think he's healthy. And to me, I'm not saying that Brock is better. Obviously, I'm not saying he's better, but to me, after the performance that Brock did yesterday, I'm confident enough that he could get the job done. Because clearly Dallas had a game plan against Brock. I don't know if you I don't know if you noticed, because they were trying to constantly add pressure on the, was it the right side? I think on the right side. They was trying to make him go left where he's uncomfortable. So they had a game plan for him, but yet he was still able to deliver. So in my opinion, I think Brock is good enough to take him to the Super Bowl and win. He's shown that no matter what you throw at him, whether if it's blitzing, constant pressure, or whatever, he can deliver the goods. And I like this dude. I'm really proud of him, and I'm actually rooting for him because he was the last pick of the draft. They call him Mister Irrelevant, and once again, unfortunately, he was just he wasn't at a big school. So yeah, they're going to think that, well, you didn't face any competition in college, so we're going to draft you last. But look, he's proving everybody wrong, and he's making everybody look dumb.
So your Super Bowl prediction is Cincinnati versus San Francisco.
Yeah. I think the Super Bowl is going to be Cincinnati and San Francisco, but it's all really solely because of health issues. If those guys were health, I probably would have been on your side, but because of health reasons and those guys are not 100%, I'm going with those two teams. All right, what are yours?
Me, Cincinnati and Philadelphia.
Oh wait, you're going with Cincinnati also.
Hmm.
Also, you're not going with the Chiefs because of the health also.
Yeah, I just don't. I think it was gonna be tough to beat them, even with the healthy Mahomes. I don't know. I don't know if they can. I don't know if you could beat that Cincinnati Bengals team with a hobbled Mahomes. I don't think you can.
Mm, I'm just surprised that you're not. What surprises me is that you're not taking that same stance in the NFC.
No, because I think that I think I don't know if he's 100% healthy, but I don't think. I mean, the thing is that when it comes, I saw Hurts. He was running fine. He played well.
Yeah, but with that defense, you know they're gonna out to
I
get
mean,
that dude.
Philadelphia defense is not shabby either. Philadelphia got a great defense also.
The difference is though, one of the quarterbacks is 100% healthy. That's the
I mean, it's
difference.
fine, but I think Hurts is a better quarterback than Purdy. Hurts is better than Purdy. Like I said, to me, it's gonna be whoever team. Man, they're both very similar. I man, I just think that whoever can impose their will on the other team is gonna win. It's definitely not gonna be. It's not gonna be a blowout. At least I don't think it's gonna be a blowout.
Yeah, I mean, true, but I'm telling you, man, McCaffrey and Kittle. I mean, they handled their business.
Yeah, yeah,
Like,
yeah.
and Brock, he did really good clock management. He wasted so much time to make sure that Dallas couldn't come back. Like you could tell, like in the fourth quarter, like they pretty much had everything under control under Brock Purdy. So because Hurts is not 100%, I have to go with San Francisco. I have to. So unfortunately, I would love to see all four quarterbacks 100% healthy, but injuries is part of the game. And so, because of that, I'm going with Cincinnati and I'm going with San Francisco.
All right. Nolan said that Brock Purdy is losing to the Eagles, so he got the Eagles.
All right, so Brock is going for the Eagles. I mean, if anybody else here want to time in thinking who's going to win, yeah, let us know, including you, Critical Drop. Who do you think is going to the Super Bowl, um, in the next couple of weeks? I'm actually curious what everybody's going to say.
Okay, so moving on. You have the Shannon Sharp and the Grizzly thing.
Yeah, actually, I just posted on Twitter and I tagged you into it. I don't know if. Oh yeah,
I
I
saw,
think
I
you
saw,
liked it. Yeah,
that's right. That's right. Anyway, yeah, go ahead. Start it up. I'll be right back. Let me get some water.
more water.
Mm.
All right, so this is going to be very interesting because uh, while he's getting water, Shannon Sharp really has been making some noise lately, and when I mean noise, it's pretty much he's been dealing with a lot of drama. Um, Shannon Sharp. Well, the thing is now since Hoovie's gone, I can't post a picture yet. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna set it up right here for you guys to see, and I'm pretty sure you all heard what's been going on, but this is just crazy.
Oh yeah,
Um,
I'll share it. Hold on. Yeah, let me share it for you. Yeah.
all right, so I'm gonna put it on full screen.
Mm-hmm.
Here,
Yeah. No volume, no volume,
oh no volume,
no volume.
oh no volume, okay. Let me get that out. Rewind. I was recording from my phone, so the quality isn't all that great, but I did the best I could.
Yeah, it's cool. It's cool.
So yeah, he pretty much told Shannon Sharp to sit his butt down, and Brooks pretty much is telling him the same thing, talking trash to Shannon Sharp, and Shannon Sharp decides to clap back at the other guy. Oh my goodness, man! So first off, I don't know what the heck is he wearing, but anyway, Steven Adams decides to come and join the show, and Steven Adams is talking trash at him. John Morant is next to him, and dude, let me tell you something, man. I have you been noticing how oh and that's his dad by the
Yeah,
way
yeah.
that's
Even
yeah
that, yeah.
okay in my opinion okay Hobie, this is the question I have for you. Do you think these players nowadays are getting a little too sensitive?
Yeah.
Because all this really has started because of what Shannon Sharp said about Brooks and LeBron James.
Mm-hmm.
You mean to tell me that things has gone so bad that you can't even take somewhat of a criticism? Like I don't get it. I really don't get it at this point. Like all Shannon Sharp really is doing is just pretty much reacting just how anybody else would react. This is something. Let me read this. So he says that they didn't want that smoke. Dave, they do all that talking and jockeying, and I ain't about that jockeying. It started with Dylan Brooks. I said he was too small to guard LeBron. I'm. Do you know how tall Brooks is?
He's not taller than LeBron.
I think he's what, like 6'4"? No, 6'6"
Probably
or something like.
6'3".
Okay, if you want to mention things and be technical, so to speak, if you want to be technical about it, um, technically Shannon Sharp really didn't say anything wrong. He is too small. He is too small. He didn't say anything that oh you're a bad defensive player. He didn't say that you can't guard LeBron James. All he pretty much said is that you're too small to guard him. You're just too small. He didn't say that you're a bad defender. He said you're too small. He's not talking trash by saying that. He's legitimately telling the truth. What are you getting pissed off for? What you getting pissed off for? If you're too small, you're too small. Like seriously. So he said He said, "F me." I said, "F you back." He started to come at me, and I said, "You don't want these problems." And Jaw came out of nowhere talking. He definitely didn't want these problems. Then the dad came, and he obviously didn't want no problems either. But I wanted anything they had. Don't let these fools fool you now. Look, look. Shannon Sharp is a big dude. He's a football player. Now he may not have the height as the rest of these guys, but John Morant, bro, you sit your butt down, man. Like Steven Adams, I could understand. Brooks, maybe, but John Morant, bro, you sit your butt down, man. You're not taking down Shannon Sharp, in my opinion. But what do you have to say about this?
Um, Shannon Sharp acted like an ass clown.
Oh, you're taking a different approach than I am. Oh,
Yeah.
okay, explain.
No, no, there's not much to explain. If that was a regular fan, he ain't getting kicked. If that was a regular fan, he's getting kicked out. A random person in the crowd acting like a fucking I, I don't I'm not gonna call him that. Acting like a dummy.
Yeah.
Like he would have gotten kicked out. Like what are you doing? What are you doing yelling at the players for? You're on the court yelling at the players like you own the fucking gym. Sit your ass down. You're on the you're privileged enough to sit courtside, right? Just sit your ass down. It's not about you. It's not about you. It's not.
But you don't think that him talking trash, it shouldn't be any different than any other fan talking trash. Well, why he should stay quiet and everybody else get to talk smack?
No, if you talk smack, he talks smack to you, then that should be the end of it. What are you doing getting up on out your seat, acting like you're gonna fight these dudes? You weren't gonna put your hands on them. I don't give a fuck what any of those athletes said about him.
Hmm.
I'm not saying Shannon Sharp's not tough. I know for a fact he wasn't gonna go in there and start fighting these dudes. So why the fuck are you out there acting like you're going to?
Well,
Act like a civilized human being. Sit your ass down.
okay, but
If you want to sit there and banter with these guys, then fine, banter. But it should only stay there.
okay, but
When
hold
you
on.
get when you get up off your seat, you're asking for trouble. And don't start trouble if you ain't willing to back it up.
Okay, but when you see Stevie Adams, come at him, and then you see John Morant come at him, like you just expect him to back down. He's not going to back down. He's not going to
No,
back down.
I'm not saying the players ain't wrong either. All I'm saying that he escalated the situation.
He did or they did.
No, he did. He
They
did.
came to him.
You are there to watch them. You're there to watch them. You want to sit there and sit there and watch that garbage ass Laker team? That's your business. You're there to watch them. You're not part of the story. You're not part of the game. Sit your
Right.
ass down and act like a civilized human being. Sit down and act like a civilized human being, not some fucking nigger always trying to start trouble.
So you on the player side. You on the player side.
No,
Like,
I'm just saying. So what are you doing? Getting at all these people for? Shut the fuck up. Sit down and act like your age. You would be tough all you want, but you know damn well that these dudes are you're half their age. What are you doing yelling at them for? Why for LeBron James? Like fuck out of here, man. He's wrong for what he did. He's wrong for what he did. And that's why he apologized on the show.
well, that's where I wanted to get at too. I mean, I have the video of him apologizing, but I don't think that really is important. I mean, if you want to hear it, you can. I
No,
mean, I can play it.
I read the apology. I
Oh,
read
okay,
the
you're right.
apology.
Yeah, like here's the thing. I have the audio. He did apologize to on national TV, but you see what happened. But here's the thing: they didn't do any apology. The Grizzlies didn't apologize for anything. Only he did. Why? Because he's on TV. Because he's on a he should be held more accountable because he's on TV while all they're doing is just playing
No.
basketball.
He's twice their age. He's twice these guys' age. Act your age. Act your age.
I
All right. So,
mean,
hold
look,
on.
look this is
Wait.
right. Okay, right. Where is it?
Well, first, let me shout out Lazaro. Shout out to Lazaro.
Oh, wait, no,
Yeah,
wait. Lazarus here.
yeah. Shout out
Lazarus
to
here.
Lazaro.
Nah, let me go back. Let me go back.
Yeah.
Lazarus here, man. Wow, Lazaro.
Now
Dog. What?
he posted on here, respect your elders, and I agree with that.
Oh, see,
But
yeah. See,
but here's
Lazaro's correct. Lazaro's
no,
correct.
but here's the thing. If I'm yelling at some kids about stuff and they say something back to me, I'm not going to be surprised. I can't be surprised by that. You sit there and here's the thing. The whole thing started when he said that, oh, you're too small to guard LeBron.
Which is a fact. It's a
Okay,
fact.
it may be true, but here's the thing. The biggest insult you can have on someone guarding you is saying, oh, they're too small. It's a taunt that NBA players by and large do not like. And especially they don't like it when someone in the crowd is telling you that. They don't want to hear that from the fans. And at that point in time, he was a fan. He's a
But his
fan.
but it's also his job to address that anyway.
Cool job.
Shannon Sharp.
No, wait. What his job is to taunt the players?
No, because he could. What's the difference between him saying that on the court or if he was saying that on air on Undisputed?
I mean, he could say that on his show all he wants. That's his job, but he's not at his job. He's at the game. And if you're going to say that to a player and he catches you and he says something back to you, what are you getting upset for? What are you getting upset for?
I
Like,
mean,
okay, let me give you an example. Let's
okay,
say it's Skip Bayless, right? Actually had a set of balls, right? He goes up to LeBron James and he says all the stuff that he said about LeBron James on his TV show to his face. LeBron James responds, what Skip Bayless can do? You're gonna get offended, be like, oh, he trashed me, he offended me, and all the other stuff. No, you got what you deserved. If you disrespect somebody, they're going to disrespect you back. If you say it on your show, then it's one thing because you're doing it on your show. You're doing it on the show. But if you're doing it to them, to their face, and they respond, what are you gonna do? If you get disrespect, you're gonna get disrespect back. And the fact that he is someone that they know on TV, it
mhm.
definitely made it worse.
I honestly because look, you just said just a few moments ago
Mm-hmm.
that the difference between him saying it on the court and saying on TV is because on TV he's pretty much doing his job. He's critiquing. He's giving us facts. On
Yeah,
the court, he's pretty much just a fan. Correct?
yeah.
Okay. So as just a fan, he has the right to talk trash just like every other fan does.
Okay,
He could
but
be. He could.
if the
He
player
has the
responds,
right to
if the
boo
player no,
and talk
no, you're
trash.
right, you're right. But if the player
Exactly.
responds, what you gonna do? You're gonna go up to him and act like you want to fight him? If you disrespect him, he disrespects you back. What you're gonna go up there and fight him?
No, well, no, they went to him. That's why they're in the wrong. They came to him. They came on
No,
his
no, no,
side.
no, no,
They
no.
come on his
They
side.
he no. Here what happened. He said something to them. No, first he said something to Brooks. Brooks said something back. Then I think Shannon got offended. He stood up and then it happened. It would be different. It would be different. And I have to see the whole video, but it would be different if Brooks went straight to him and got to his face and said that to him.
Okay.
He clearly walking away from him. Who's escalating the situation?
Crap.
It's Shannon, because he's the one that got up off his seat going towards them. That's what he did. He got up going to them, pointing down at him, trying to act tough and shit.
Hmm. So you're, yeah. So clearly you.
No, No, because
You,
I don't like this nigga moment mentality that's going on here. Where
yeah, but you
we're sitting there, we're acting like we're gonna sit there and just try to fight each other, embarrass ourselves on national TV.
yeah, but you also admitted that the players, at least at the very least in this generation, they have gone too soft. They've gone soft.
Look. You can basketball players in general are sensitive. They are. They are put on a huge microscope, and with the addition of social media, any mistake that they make gets mocked for days on social media.
which is well deserved. That's part of the package deal. And
Right,
unfortunately, you have to get that
that
because
does
you want
not
to
mean
put on yourself a public display,
that does not mean that they should be just looked upon as robots. Like they're human beings also. They're human beings also.
look, that's what you signed up for.
Okay,
When you sign up for a job, when you sign
stop because you
no,
don't
I'm not.
deal
No, I'm not. No,
you
I'm not.
don't deal with
No,
what they deal with. You don't deal with what they deal with.
I did not sign up for that. They did. They
Okay,
signed the contract.
okay,
They signed the contract.
all right. So if you sign a contract, if you're gonna do that, and then I come up to you and start saying all this nasty shit to you, I talk about your mother, I talk about your brother, I talk about your entire family. You're
He
gonna
didn't
take
do
that?
that. He didn't do
No,
that.
I no, I did not. I'm not asking.
He didn't do
You a
that. He didn't do
scenario.
that.
I gave you a scenario. If I come up to you and I disrespect you, you're gonna be okay with that?
He
You
didn't
signed the
disrespect
contract,
them.
right? Yes, of course he did.
He
Of course
said
he
that
did.
he said that you're too small. That's all he
That's
did.
disrespect. That's disrespect.
That is telling a fact.
It's a
That's a
taunt.
fact.
Listen, it's disrespect.
LeBron James is 6'9". The guy is 6'6".
I don't give
It's
a
a
fuck,
fact.
Steve. I don't fucking care. It's disrespect.
How is that disrespect?
Like,
What?
look, I already explained
Okay,
it to
okay, okay.
you.
Hold on. Wait.
I've already explained it to you.
Okay, look,
I've already
wait.
explained
That's why I asked you. What is the difference between him saying it on TV and him saying it on the court? What's the difference?
it. You're going up to them, antagonizing them. That's the difference. He's antagonizing them.
Saying that you're too small to guard LeBron James?
Look at how he's acting.
Yeah, afterwards,
No, I
after
don't
they
know.
told him to sit his butt down.
I don't care what happened before or after. Look at how he's acting. He's 50 plus years old. Act your fucking age. Don't act like no fucking thug on the court. Fuck out of here. He embarrassed himself. That's why he apologized.
I think the reason why he apologized is because his bosses told him to. I guarantee his bosses told him
I
to
mean,
apologize. And I guarantee you this. I guarantee Brooks, Adams, and John Moran is not going to apologize. I guarantee you that. They're not going to apologize for coming up at him.
It is what it is. But here's the thing. If what you're saying is correct, and I don't think it's true. Because I do think that he's remorseful for what happened. But I'm not going to overlook it because he acted like a dumbass. He did. Now, but if what you're saying is true, and they say, "Oh, the boss told him to apologize," what did that say about him and Skip Bayless? Because what Skip Bayless did was a lot worse. But did you hear Skip Bayless apologize? No.
Wait. Are you talking about the whole
The DeMar Hamlin thing?
Okay.
Yeah, Skip Bayless didn't apologize for nothing. And what he did was 1,000 times worse than this.
Yeah, Skip Bayless didn't apologize for anything. Yeah, that's true. He said it on there that he stand by his tweet.
Right, but that's why I think he apologized on his own, because I think that he felt embarrassed by what happened. He felt embarrassed by what happened. Like I said before, I don't mind booing. I don't mind playful heckling. But if you're going to sit there and tell a guy, "Oh, you're too small to guard LeBron," and all this stuff, and he responds, then what are you getting upset for? He's just responding to what he just giving out the energy that you give out to him. I just don't like the way that he reacted because of how it looks in the grand scheme of things for him and for everyone else.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's not a good look for him. To me, it's not a good look for him. And I hate to see I hate to see it happen the way that it did. But I just don't like that look. I don't like that mentality. Because that mentality, and again, it's not on the same, obviously it's not on the same level, but that mentality that gets people shot. When you're sitting there, you do something bad to somebody, they react, you get upset to the point where something happens and boom, 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 then it is what it is. Right? You have all this road rage. I remember I read the story about a guy who cut off another guy on I-95, right? The
Hmm.
dude tried to catch up to him, being like, "What the fuck you doing?" And then he pulled out, and then the other guy pulls out a gun and shoots at the car.
Oh wow,
You
that's
know what I'm
crazy.
saying? Like it's just the mentality of some people that I just don't tolerate. I just can't tolerate people just like they sit there, they feel like they can just say whatever the fuck they want to the people, and then when people respond, they're the one that gets offended, and they're the one that wants to escalate the situation. That's what Shannon Sharp did. And I see everyone giving him props and stuff like that. There's nothing to, what is like what is there to be proud of? He made himself out to look like a jackass.
Hmm.
At least in my opinion. Like I know Lazaro disagrees with me, but let me read some comments.
Yeah, yeah, he said some stuff.
Yeah, yeah. So I'll read his stuff in a second. First off, Joshua, your cousin, he's here.
What's going on, Josh? What's up, nephew?
All right,
Let's see how long he's going to last in this here. But he has like a tournament going. But I appreciate that you at least give us a shout out. Cool.
all right. So Ruben said that I would have taken a healthy Hurts, but I don't know now. So he's talking about San Francisco and Philadelphia. Right. All right. So Lazaro said that Hoovy, what can the fans do? What's appropriate behavior? People go to the games to heckle people. If it's playful heckling, I can deal with that. I can deal with that. But if an athlete responds to you in kind, then you really have nothing. You have nothing to say. To me, I don't heckle players because it's not something that I don't feel the energy to just trash players, at least to their face. You know what I'm saying? Like if I come out here and say, oh, this guy's a bum, like Patrick Beverly, right? Yeah, this is a bum, right? I don't like watching him play. Would I say that to his face? No. Like I'm not gonna say that to his face. Because at the end, he is a human being. I'll say it on here because he's not gonna see it. You know what I'm saying? He's not gonna see it.
Oh gosh, movie.
And if he sees it and he gets mad at me, I'm like, all right, bro, like that's just how I feel. But I'm not gonna. But the thing is that I would never disrespect somebody to their face if they don't deserve it. You know what I'm saying? Like
Listen,
I
if
could,
you
I could,
if you
I
play
could, yeah.
bad, you play bad. If you
No,
play
yeah, no,
bad
it's true.
and
Hey,
we
it's
have the
true.
right to say, listen,
Yeah.
you play bad. It is no different than how you like to tell all your stories about all these trashy workers at your job. It's no
Mm-hmm.
different. Whether if you are a bad cook, whether if you are a bad operator, or if you're a bad basketball player. If you're playing bad, you're playing bad, and if people are going to call you out on it, so be it. That's what happens when you decide to go on public display. When you're in the eyes of millions upon people, and then people see that you're not performing well, they have the right to call you out on it because that's what they see. If you're going to play garbage, they're going to call you garbage.
Okay, and that I can live with that. But if someone reacts in kind and be like, if I call them a bum and they call me a bum, I'm not gonna escalate the situation and be like, well, fuck you then, and go up to them like I'm gonna fight them. If I give out the energy, I have to receive it. If I give it out, if I can dish it, I have to take it.
Okay, that's fair.
You know what I'm saying? So if Beverly comes sees this video, right, and he hears me say, "Oh, you're a bum," and then he called me a bum, what am I gonna say?
Well,
I,
I would be on. The only reason why I would be on his side is because I still consider his defense. elite, so he can't be a bum if you're in the if you were in the what do you call it, all in defense. I forgot what's it called. The crap,
Oh,
man. Anyway,
yeah,
I
yeah,
forgot what's it called.
you're right. All defensive team.
Yeah, yeah. If he's still in that squad, then he can't you can't be a bum, and he's gonna get extra money because of it. So I would definitely disagree with you there as far as him being a bum. At least he's an elite defensive player. So I would disagree with you there. I would disagree. I wouldn't call him a bum. He's a great leader, I
You want
guess.
to talk about the actual topic?
I'm only mentioning it because you kept on bringing Patrick Beverly up, so I'm just defending him.
I was just using him as an example. And
Okay, okay, but go ahead, go ahead.
y'all need to make this interactive. Here's a saying: "Great with great power comes great responsibility," and I agree with that. And that's why I put the onus on Shannon Sharp. How does a 50-year-old act? Like a nigga with some manners, like an old man with some manners.
But wait, hold on. But you just agreed with Lazaro
Mm-hmm.
just a few moments ago that respect your elders. You but
They
yeah,
do, but
but
no,
yeah,
no,
you
no, no,
completely
but
ignore that. You completely ignored the fact that they approached him. You completely
they
ignored
didn't
the
do it.
fact that they were talking
No, they did
trash to
not approach
him.
him. They did not approach him.
They went to him. He didn't go to them.
No,
They went to his side.
he was being the aggressor. He was the one being the aggressor. He was.
Nah, I disagree with
Because
that.
the thing is that the chirping that Dylan Brooks was doing to him, he was walking away from him. He was going to his bench. He's the one that started with the histrionic and be like, "Oh, come here and say it to my face," bullshit. When you sit there, you're trashing him, calling him too small. He come back at you. Now you're the one that's offended.
All the turbulence and histrionics was coming from the Grizzlies with the Grizzly side. When you have three guys coming at you, they are the ones that's causing the major trouble.
Look, they're obviously going. They're obviously going to have his back. They're obviously going to have. Like I said, I'm not saying the Grizzlies are right in this situation. All I'm saying is that Shannon Sharp is the one that aggravated the situation. He's the one that aggravated that made that exaggerate that made the situation worse.
Okay, I mean, if you think he made it worse, I mean, I guess. But Shannon Sharp has been dealing with a lot of drama lately, and I don't think he's doing it on purpose. Because, like, you remember the situation where he didn't show up for work,
Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
the argument he had with Skip Bayless about him saying Tom Brady was better than you, and now with this situation, he's been getting a lot of publicity for the past couple of weeks, for the last few weeks. So yeah, this guy, man. Yeah, Shannon Sharp. Shout out to you, man. Go ahead.
David, he said, I think they signed up to play basketball, not deal with BS. And if you're a media guy, you're soaking up this attention because of money. I
You agree
can't.
with that?
Yeah, I agree with him on that. I agree with him on that. Now, listen, when you sign these huge contracts, you're gonna deal with BS, whether it's professional or personal. It comes with the territory of having all that money and being in the public eye. Is it something that they deserve? No, they don't deserve it. Because at the end of the day, no matter how much money you make, no matter how much fame you have, people are still human. People are still human. They have a right. They have a right to. They have the right to feel like Shannon Sharp can sit there and call Dylan Brooks small all he wants. Dylan Brooks has a right to respond. Just like with me, like let's say with me, like I'm look, I'm 38 years, I'm 37. We're all in our upper 30s now, including Lazaro, right? Like we're if we see a young if we see a youngster and we're having a conversation with him, whatever, we're not gonna be like mean to them. We're not gonna be like I'm not gonna be like, oh well, oh you everything you're doing is sucks and all the other stuff. I'm not gonna antagonize them. Because I have no idea what these new kids what these new kids mindsets are. For one, and two, that to me, and two, and more important, it's not that's not how I want to. That's not how I want to go on with my life. You know what I'm saying? If I can give a kid some type of knowledge or whatever, I don't mind doing that. As long as they treat me with respect, I'll treat you with respect. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, if you want, if you're Shannon Sharp, if you want to be a fan, be a fan. But don't make the story about you. And definitely don't do that. And definitely don't do that. For some clout.
Well,
Which is
I don't think he was.
which I hope that's not the case of why this happened.
I don't think he was doing it for clout. Frankly, I think he pretty much had enough clout for the past few weeks. But as far as what David said earlier, I don't necessarily 100% agree with that because once again, once you sign that contract and when you're on public display where people could watch you, if you're playing bad, fans or non-fans have the right to say, hey, that you're not playing well, that you're playing garbage, that you're shooting bricks, that you're not, you don't fit for the team. Like they could say all that stuff to you. They have the right to say all of that, especially if it's warranted. Now, if you're playing well and they're still talking trash to you, then fine. But uh all the players that has been playing bad lately, especially like a guy like Ben Simmons, like that dude, people definitely has the right to call him garbage. And just because you make $1 million doesn't exclude you from people criticizing you. It
No,
doesn't.
no, it doesn't excuse the criticism. What it does, it doesn't look, making all that money doesn't excuse you from criticism. But it also shouldn't excuse you from hateful comments, like harassing your family, like all the other extra shit that should not be happening.
Yeah,
That like I think they like you deal with criticism. Everyone deals with criticism in different ways and scopes and scales, whatever. The one thing that nobody deserves is to be completely humiliated. You should. No one should have the right to completely humiliate you. That's all I'm saying. So David said that they should be thanking the media for this BS because they wouldn't be making all that money to play a game if it wasn't for the media guys. I would put it to you like this: without those players and those salaries, who's going to cover them? If you don't have the players, who's going to cover them? Like again, I understand what you're saying. And David, I think to an extent, I think you're right. But we also have to make understand that without the players, none of this is possible. Without the players, none of this is possible. You
yeah,
know.
but you do. The media still plays a huge part too, though. I mean, without the media, we necessarily don't get to without the. It's like it's like what do you call it? You scratch my back, I scratch
Yeah,
yours.
yeah.
Yeah,
So yeah, it's less likely. It's less like that now because of social media and stuff like that. Like players can get their voices out there in different ways. But back then, it was all like really all you had was newspapers and the
true.
occasional magazine. I mean, now you have more avenues and stuff like that. So, all right. So, Britina T.
Britannia, yeah, Britannia, what's going on? What's up?
46, how you doing?
Yes, yes, yes. How you
Like,
doing? She's always like to steal our bottles, at work.
all right. So, I mean,
I'm just joking.
I pretty much give you my opinion on it. Like, I didn't like his behavior.
Well, I mean, you could say that, but I think you could. There's a lot of blame to go around. I put the blame on both, but more so on them since they were the one that came on his side of the on the court. And to me, these grown men, I know they're really young. Brooks is like 27. He's almost in his 30s. John Morant is very young, but I think Adams is in his 30s already.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
These guys needs to stop being all sensitive when it comes to sports. They need to stop being all sensitive. Be grown men, all right? Like you're gonna have to take it. This stuff is not new. This stuff has been happening since basketball has started, and it was a whole lot worse back then. Whole lot worse when you're talking about the time where um when you talk about the time with Bill Russell and all the stuff that they had to go through, they have gone through far more scrutiny than you guys are now. All people are saying now is if you are performing bad, they have the right to call you out on it. Just like in any job, if you're performing bad at your job, whether if you're have bad work ethic, you coming late to work, you decide not to do and not be a team player, and if people want to call you out on it, they have the right to do that, whether if it's your coworkers or if it's a customer. And the same thing applies to sports. If you're doing the bad job, or if they see something like, Brooks, you're too small for LeBron James, he has the right to say that to you because you are too small. And I don't necessarily think there's nothing wrong with that.
What's Brooks supposed to say?
If Brooks wants to call him out on it, he could do that.
And
If
that's what
Brooks
he did.
Yeah, but then they started to go at him, which is
No, no,
why
no, 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 no. Then Shannon Sharp, the 50-year-old, got sensitive and started heckling them on the court, standing on the court towards them. And there's only one group of people. There's only one person who's supposed to be on that court between Dylan Brooks and Shannon Sharp. And who is that person? Your silence says everything.
No, you said, I thought that was rhetorical. So look, I'm blaming both. I'm blaming everybody. I'm blaming everybody. And look, and you tried to skip. No, I'm going to read it because you tried to skip it.
No,
She,
I was going
she said,
to read it.
she said, well, yes, a person who does bad anywhere. I love that key word. You hear that? Oh, movie 186. Who does bad anywhere? You hear that, David? Anywhere should be called out, especially if it's harmful to others. Look, regardless of where you are, whether it's in the public display or not, whether it's in private or whether it's in government, whatever. If you are doing bad, or if somebody sees something where it doesn't benefit you and they want to call out and they want to call you out on it, they have the right to do that. And if you want to get sensitive about it, well, that's just you being a snowflake. That's it. You can't take it, and there's really nothing you could do about it when it comes to you being too small. There's nothing you could do about it. Just accept it because you are too small. What's the next one?
No. You're not getting away with that.
No. I am getting away with it because that's the truth.
No, you're not getting away with that. Because what he said was true, that means that it's okay.
Yes, it's true. He is too small.
Right, so
it's a fact.
Let me ask you a question and answer this honestly.
Sure.
You see a random woman out on the street, right? See a random woman, you don't know her or nothing like that. You feel comfortable going up to that woman saying that she's fat?
If I'll go up to her and say that, hey, it would be nice if you would take care.
You are so full of shit. You are so full of shit.
It's no different. It's no different.
You're so full of shit.
It is no. It's no different.
I know you don't have the balls to do that. You don't.
No.
You don't have the balls to do that.
No, like here's the difference though. I like a random woman that I don't know. Probably not, but I would definitely do it to what's her name? That rapper. What's her name?
Of course you would, because you like to tell people you like to be mean to people.
No. The difference is she wants to act like as if being fat is a good thing, and it's not. It's not.
Who gives a flying fuck? Oh, so how? So what? So what's it any different than some random woman?
No, well,
if the main thing is, it's not okay to be fat, then why is it that you're okay to tell Lizzo that, but not some random woman that? What's the difference?
Because Lizzo is promoting fatness. That's why.
And this woman.
That's the difference.
And this
That's
woman
the difference.
And this woman not.
No,
you don't know that.
She's not going on social media, and she's not going on social media and telling everybody, oh, it's okay to be fat, it's okay to be overweight, when that is one of the worst things that any human could do. You should not be promoting something that's an illness.
So you're so full of shit. You are. You really are.
I mean, hey, I'm telling the truth here.
No, you're full of shit.
I'm telling the absolute truth here. And but Britannia, you say I borrowed the bottles. Yeah, I know. I'm just messing with you. I just like making fun with you, man. But you're such a doll. But yeah, it's cool.
People should not be entitled just because they are rich and famous.
Yes.
I never said.
Yes. I'm so glad that you're still here. I'm so glad that you're still sticking around, Britannia. I appreciate that. Just because he's rich doesn't mean he's excluded from criticism. Hoopy.
That's not.
Exactly.
Did I say that they were
Thank you.
excluded from criticism? Did I say that? Did I say that?
You didn't. You pretty much said that. Oh, Shannon Sharp, shouldn't or have a reaction just because is addressing something that is true.
What the fuck are you talking about? You don't even know what the fuck you're talking about.
What Shannon Sharp said was 100% true, and then you get upset.
Steve,
you get upset.
Steve. Let me tell you. Let me give you a fact. Let me give you a fact of life. Shannon Sharp is more famous than Dylan Brooks.
Okay.
The only person in that whole circle that's more famous than him is John Morant. So she's okay. So Britannia says people should not be entitled because they're rich and famous. That's the exact reason why Shannon Sharp did what he did, because he felt entitled to do it. Because, like I said, no random person is gonna do that and not get kicked out for it. Anyone not Shannon Sharp gets kicked out. Easy. Because he's famous, because he's friends with LeBron, he gets to stay. That's entitlement. Yes or no?
That could have happened to anybody. If that was Stephen A. Smith, he would have stayed too. If that was Stephen A., he would have stayed too. If that was Mike Robon, he would have stayed.
You want to know why? Because he's rich and famous and he's entitled.
Okay, but don't make this thing like, oh, it's because he's friends with LeBron James, that's why he get to stay. And anybody in sports media would have been able to stay.
Explain to me how any random person can get away with what Shannon Sharp did. Explain it to me.
Because they're not a public figure.
Explain, because you have NBA players kicking out fans for saying shady shit. We didn't see LeBron James do it last year.
Yeah, that was wrong, and LeBron James is a coward for doing that. He's a coward.
Okay, but you're saying, oh, you're clapping up what she said, and she's right. And she's
okay. I'm applauding her. I'm applauding her because she actually understands.
No. You're doing that in spite of me, despite the fact that the person who was entitled in this situation is actually Shannon Sharp. He's the one that's acting entitled, going on a court that he's not supposed to be on, trying to instigate a fight with kids half his age.
Listen, at the end of the day,
you know I'm right.
Because at the end of the day, all he did was tell the truth. Brooks is too small for LeBron, and he addressed that truth, and Brooks got offended by it. Don't get mad at somebody because they was addressing the truth. Don't get mad about it. It's 100% fact. You're 6'6". LeBron is 6'9". He's 3 inches taller than you. What you getting mad for?
You're so full of shit, bro. You are so full of shit. You're so full of shit.
Sure I am.
I go up to you and I say Jesus is gay. What you gonna say?
Yeah, I'm gonna say that you don't know what you're talking about, and he'll deal with you in Judgment Day.
Okay, and then I continue. You're gonna be okay with that?
Yeah, he'll
you're gonna be okay with that?
No, he's going to Jesus is going to mock you when he sends you to a place where you have, well, I'm pretty sure you would not want to go to. That's what I would say to you.
So
that's what I would say.
All right, so before I continue, let me ask you this question.
No. Continue. Let's continue.
No. I'm gonna ask you this question because you're squirming right now. You're squirming right now.
Sure, I am.
So Shannon Sharp didn't act entitled when he was yelling at those players. Now again, we can argue that you said that they're both wrong. That's what you said. You said they're both wrong. The only person you're criticizing is the players.
Yeah, they're both.
No, wait. Let me finish. You're only criticizing the players because what Shannon Sharp did is what you want to do.
What?
That's how you see yourself.
What are you talking about?
That's exactly how you see yourself.
What are you talking about, man? All right, now you don't know what you're talking about.
Bashing the players, which is what you do. You like to do.
You don't know what you're talking about.
We had a full conversation last week regarding LeBron James, right? And your continued hatred for LeBron James because he was first in All-Star voting.
I didn't have hate on LeBron James.
He
All
did.
I
It's the only
all
reason why we talked about it. It's the only
all,
reason why we talked about it.
all I said was that Tatum and Giannis should have been number one, not LeBron James.
It should not have
That's
been a
what I said.
topic. It should not
Yeah,
have been a
yeah.
topic.
Obviously, it should have been a topic
No, it
because
should not.
because once again, you should reward the people who's playing the best basketball. Yes or no?
Okay, and LeBron and I asked you, does LeBron James deserve to be an All-Star? Because at the end of the day, that's all that matters. Is are you an All-Star? Yes or no? That's all that matters. Being a top vote getter don't get you nothing.
Okay, but here's the thing.
Answer the question.
But here's the thing. Here's the thing. Here's the thing. Here's the
Answer
thing.
the question.
What's the question?
Does LeBron James deserve to be an All-Star?
Based on performance, no.
All right, all right. I'm moving. I'm moving on.
No, no.
You're not.
No,
You're being.
no.
You're being stupid. You're being.
No,
stupid.
he's not even the playing. He's not even the playing right now.
You're being stupid. That's fine.
He's not even playing right now.
You're being stupid. That's fine.
He's not even playing right now.
Britannia said that she agreed with you.
Of course she does. Of course, because you don't know what you're talking about.
You need to join the gym lady. LOL. I used to do that when I was a kid. Call random people fat.
Hey David, I'm pretty much you feel good at the end of the day too, man.
It's possible the person is fat because of an injury or illness. I guess.
No. Well, David, here's the thing, David, and I want everybody, especially like everybody would know that nobody could ever say that being obese is a good thing, David. But my issue is if you are promoting it, if you are telling people, oh, just if you're fat, just love the way you are. That's not what you're supposed to be doing. You're supposed to be encouraging people to lose that weight. And at the end of the day, if it offends them that by you addressing that they're fat, that they're obese, I mean, it is what it is. The doctor would tell you the exact same thing. The doctor would tell you the exact same thing. So what would be the difference if a family member or a friend or whatnot tells you that, yo, this is unhealthy, this is not good for you. I want you to live a long life as possible. You need to lose weight.
7 years of school. That's the difference.
Wait, what?
That's the difference. 7 years of school, a degree. That's the difference. If a doctor says it, fine. But I don't want some random fuckboy on the street telling me that. Mind your own fucking business.
So somebody who doesn't have a degree is incapable to know that somebody is obese or not. That's what you're saying?
Well, you can be capable all you want, but the fact is, I'm not going to go up to that person and say that. I'm not going to randomly just go up to someone and say that.
I didn't say for you to go to a random person.
That's what I asked you. That was the scenario that I asked you.
Okay, but we're talking about two different things. You're trying to go to somewhere else to prove your point.
Concentrate on what I'm talking about.
That's not the point.
Concentrate on what I'm talking about. I asked you a question. Would you go up to a random person and say that they're fat? And then you gave me a wishy-washy answer. So Lazaro says, I see Hoovy as Skip Bayless and Steve as Shannon Sharp. I'm neither.
Wait, well, how you need to give me some examples, Lazaro. Like why like how did you come up with that? Like how did you come up with that? I mean, it would actually have made more sense if you called Hoovy Stephen A. Smith, since he likes to yell so much. It would be yeah, you should call him Stephen A. Smith because he likes to scream a lot. But go ahead.
I'm none of these fucking stupid pundits. I always thought Lizzo promoted being comfortable in your own skin, not unhealthy lifestyles.
Thank you. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying go up to some random person and say, "Oh, you're fat." If you are promoting fatness, obesity, that is when you should be called out for it.
He's not agreeing with you.
Wait, hold on. I thought Lizzo promoting being comfortable in your own skin, not. Wait, he's saying it's an unhealthy lifestyle, right?
He's saying that he always thought that what Lizzo promoted was not being fat. It was about being comfortable in your own skin.
Well, I guess, but if what you're saying, if what Hoovy is saying is true, then you're wrong for that, Ruben. You're wrong for that. You're wrong for that because in order for a lot, what a lot of people do is that they use the fact that they're unhappy with themselves or that they're uncomfortable with themselves. They use that as motivation to lose the weight. But if you're just going to be satisfied to where you are and be unhealthy, that's never a good thing. Never.
So Lizzo has to be at a weight that makes you comfortable.
No, she has to be in a weight that's good for her.
And if her being big is what's good for her,
It's not
why
good
is
for
that
her. See,
fair?
no. You're not making sense. Being overweight is never good.
Okay,
That's my point.
he, but that's not what he's saying though. He's saying that she's comfortable in her own skin, and if her being big is her being comfortable, then why is it that you get to dictate that? Why is it that you get to dictate that?
The reason why I get to dictate that is because she's promoting that if you are fat, you could be comfortable with your fatness, and that shouldn't be. You're supposed to be encouraging people to lose the weight.
What are the stats regarding this guy regarding LeBron? That's where the facts are, not on what Shannon Sharp said. Oh, this David. What are the stats regarding LeBron? Like, it's nothing. He was put on LeBron. That's it. He was put on LeBron. That's what he coach. I guess that either it was a switch or something that the coach wanted. It is what it is. Bertina said that it's a sad country and society that famous people and politicians get away with things just because of where they are in as in society. You're right. You're right. It is a sad it is a sad country, but that's just how it is.
Well, you have to also remember though, when you're rich and where you're famous, you're always going to get perks that other people is never going to get. You're always going to be able to skip the line and get a slap on the wrist because of the simple fact that you're rich. I mean, it is what it is,
But it's
unfortunately.
not but it's not but it's not fair.
No, it may not be fair, but it's always been that way since day one.
All right, fine, but it's not fair though.
I agree.
But dudes in their 50s can go on the court and challenge the entire team to a fight, and that's okay.
Yeah, he didn't do that, but go ahead. He didn't do that, but go
Yeah,
ahead.
I think as a whole, as a society, we need more emotional and spiritual intelligence. To be honest, but I was just brought up. I just brought up the injuries and illness because that's a good reason to not call random people fat. LOL. So,
Well, yeah. If it's due, to injury, because it's funny that you mentioned that because Hoovy kind of gave me, somewhat of a correction when I was talking the same crap to John Wall. When I said that he was overrated, Hoovy said that, well, he's injured, so we should probably, give him a slide, let him slide since he was injured, sort of for the whole entire time. But when you're healthy and you could finally play basketball, your one of your top priority is obviously to get better and get in and to get in shape. But that goes for all people though, regardless if you're a basketball player or not. The goal should always be to try to be healthy and try to encourage people that you could stay fat and be fine with it. No.
I think Ruben. I think she is promoting that you don't have to be on the verge of self deletion if you're overweight.
But then there's okay, but you do that, now there's no incentive for you to lose the weight. You do that, what's the purpose of um of trying to get into the healthy side if well I'm just fine perfectly the way I am even though I'm overweight.
Who?
No,
What does what, what does
you
what
should
does it matter to you?
no you shouldn't live that way.
What does it matter to you?
I'm just telling you that it shouldn't be that way, that's
Why?
all.
What should it matter to you?
What mean what does it matter to me?
What should it matter to you?
I'm addressing the fact that being overweight should never be some type of promotion.
That's
That's all
fine.
I'm
But
saying.
why it doesn't matter to you if she does it?
Because it's wrong. And I'm going to call her
To
out
who?
for it.
To who? To who?
To everybody.
No, not to everybody.
Yeah.
Not to everybody, because it don't
Yeah.
affect you at all.
It doesn't affect me if people encourage for you to smoke or cigarettes or smoke weed, but I'm gonna say that no, that's wrong.
No, but you don't. But you're not gonna have this whole backlash over somebody as opposed to Lizzo.
You don't know that, man.
You're full of crap. Is LeBron James an All-Star? Yes or no?
Well, unfortunately, he's number one in voting.
I don't give a
Unfortunately,
fuck about voting. Is he an All-Star? Yes or no? Based on the numbers.
what are you talking about?
Based
He got the
on
vote.
his numbers, is he an All-Star?
You already asked. You already asked me that question. I answered.
No, and you answer like an idiot. I want you to correct yourself. Is he an All-Star?
This dude said I answered like an idiot. Yeah. He's an all-star. He's an all-star.
Good God. It's important to find a medium of self-improvement and self-love. I agree with that. You need a happy medium because I'm looking. I'm going off topic a little bit, but there's this woman on the internet that tried to expose a guy at the gym, right? And the thing is, I'm reading her excuses. I'm reading all the stuff about she doesn't like to be sexualized and all the other stuff. And I'm like, she clearly, I don't know if she hates people or hates herself or something like that. She's there's something mentally wrong with her, right? So yeah, it is important to find a happy medium. Like just because you're not quote classically beautiful or classically fit doesn't mean that you have to be shamed into you don't have to be shamed into being what everybody else thinks you should be. You should be happy with who you are. And don't worry about what other people think of you. Nolan, seriously. Aggregate what the aggregate collective keepers? No, like seriously.
You know he's just stat paddling. You know that. He all he cares about now is trying to pass Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. That's all he's trying to do. He's all he wants to do now is just
Well,
pass Kareem.
how's he going to improve the team? What's the best way to improve the team? What's the best way that LeBron James can do to improve the team?
The best way to improve the team now is to start from scratch.
To lose even more, and so you can even say that he's not an all-star at all because he's losing, and your solution is to continue losing, start over and continue losing.
Well, if they could get a trade, by means, go ahead and do that. But when I was talking to Roy the other day about this because he said that he agreed with you, and I told him that no, you're wrong, and I told him that he's wrong.
What did he agree with me on?
That he said unfortunately it is a crap.
Popularity contest.
Yeah, a popularity contest, and he said he agrees with that. And here's what I said real quick, and I want to say this to you one more time. When you decided to make this a popularity contest and not a way of who deserves to be an all-star, with that type of system, people who deserve to go on there is never going to go on there. Like for you can't sit here and say that, oh well, it is what it is, but then on the flip side be upset that Bam Adebayo did not go in. Somebody who actually deserved to go in. You can't get upset that Hero didn't go in knowing that freaking Derrick Rose took his place. You can't have both. And freaking Anthony Davis. You actually believe Anthony Davis deserved to go on there? Absolutely not. And then what Roy was saying was that, well, the coaches able to decide the rest of the roster. And I said, but that's not the point though. Because Anthony Davis shouldn't be an all-star at all. He still took somebody else's spot. Andrew Adebayo, like you said, should have been on there, not Anthony Davis. Well, I mean, they're in two different conferences, but you know what I mean. He still took somebody else's spot because he shouldn't have been there. Period. So by making it a popularity contest instead of basing on merit and how you performing on the court, I think is wrong.
But my thing is that like that's what it is, and the thing is that's why they have coaches and that's why they have media voting as well, to get those guys who didn't get the popular vote to get in. And sometimes you miss, but like I said earlier, most guys who are deserving will get in. Most guys.
That didn't happen, as you can see.
Or the All-Star game team is not even announced yet. It's not done yet. Not finalized.
Yeah.
So, all right. So Nolan, says, "I am an advocate in saying that Space Jam: A New Legacy had nothing to do with space. Is it all like a computer program or something like that?"
I didn't
Or
watch the movie, so I don't know.
I feel like I should because I saw the first one, so I feel like I should watch this one to see how to compare. But I heard a lot of bad things about that movie.
That movie, when I saw that trailer, I knew that movie was going to be good. I knew that
All
movie
right,
was going to be good.
all right, moving on. This is your topic also.
Um, okay, so we're doing the
Pro,
Pride one.
yeah.
Okay, all right, everyone. So finally,
More Steve bashing gays. Let's get ready.
all right. No, I'm not. I'm not bashing. I'm not bashing gay people. I'm not.
Yeah, okay.
But here's the new topic that we are going to talk about, everyone. So let me. I could get this one out of here. Can you see this?
No, you gotta share it.
Oh crap! All right, let me do this real quick. Share, entire screen. Yes.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So, ESPN writer calls out Flyers player for wearing jersey to support military, but skipping LGBTQ sweater. All right. Listen, this guy. You know what? No. Before I give my rant, let me. Can I play the video, or are we going to get copyrighted?
Um, Play the video, but only but play. But I'll get rid of the. Just play the video.
All right. Oh gosh. My apologies for the freaking ads. Um, my apologies, everybody. Oh come on. No, no. Oh, all
Oh,
right.
wrong. Yeah, wrong one.
Wrong. All right, all right. You know what? Let me just read this real quick. So, a hockey writer appeared to be upset at Philadelphia Flyers defense defensive man Ivan
I got the name. Ivan Provorov.
Ivan Provorov for boycotting the team's festivities on Tuesday over religious reasons, while being okay with wearing a jersey supporting the military. I'm gonna continue reading on, but you could already tell that this guy, what he said was just plain pathetic, and I'll explain shortly. Greg, I cannot pronounce this name.
This is
Wagwinski. You try.
Wyzinski.
Oh, good job, Greg. Wyzinski, a senior hockey writer for ESPN, pointed that notion out as the uproar over Provorov.
Provorov. No, you're messing me up. You're messing me up. Provorov.
All right.
Provorov. Yeah.
Provorov decision reached a fever pitch on social media. Provorov didn't participate in the pregame warmups when the team wore pride-themed jerseys and used sticks wrapped in rainbow pride tape. I respect everyone. I respect everybody, and I respect everyone's decision, everybody's choices. Provorov told reporters after the game, "My choice is to stay true to myself and my religion. That's all I'm going to say about it." And of course, Ivan Provorov is more than happy to play pregame dress up when it does align with his belief system. Wawinski tweeted. Winsky defended his points in separate tweets. So he said, of course, Ivan Provorov is more than happy to play pregame dress up when it does align with his belief system. And let me see what else, if there's anything else. That he gladly wore a pre-gram sweater that benefited Flyers charities in the past when it aligned with his belief system, which is exactly what I wrote. I appreciate you attaching a bunch of your own nonsense on my tweet because I simply haven't received enough hate mail. All right. I actually want you to go first. Do you have anything to say, real quick?
I this is the way what I said about the Tampa Bay thing. I say here, right now. With that said, anybody who sit there and act like you should keep politics out of sports are full of shit if you support this, right? And like I said, I don't have no problem with this. This is like I don't have no problem with the pride thing either. But this, what this is just is all politics. All of this politics. But the most interesting thing about this is actually not with the hockey player. It's with his coach, John Tortorella. Because I remember now this guy is famous hockey coach, known for his temper tantrums and all the other stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now I remember his when the whole Colin Kaepernick thing started, right? And he his coach was like coaching the US hockey team at the time. He said that he would bench any player who sit down for the national anthem. He would bench any player who did that.
Okay.
Now, he walked those comments back 4 years later. Like he said that, I did research on it and yeah, blah blah blah, right? He did all that, right? But when it came to the decision with Provorov, he said that he supported his decision, that he was just being true to his religion and his beliefs or whatever, right? Which is true, which I have no problem with. The thing is that when you do this, when you wear this, this is political. The supporting military, that's political. When you wear pride, the pride stuff, that's political. You're trying to appease different groups. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? So like, it is what it is. The thing that I find funny is that you have a bunch of people who sit there and they're like, "Oh, keep politics out of sports, keep politics out of sports," but yet they're okay with this. They're more than okay with this. And I'm like, we're at the same energy. That's all I'm asking. I don't have that much of an opinion on it, to be honest with you. Like my opinion is the same here that it is when it comes to what happened with the soccer player that we talked about and the basketball and the baseball team that we talked about. Yeah. Now, he said that it's his belief that he doesn't promote, LGBTQ, and I have to take him at his word. Because, like I said, I don't know him, and I don't think he would be lying about it. At least I hope he's not lying about it. So I can't sit there and act like he's a hypocrite in this case. He supports one but doesn't support the other. It is what it is. And as long as the team is okay with it, then what am I to get upset over it?
Okay.
So I don't agree with the writer in this case.
All right. Here's the issue, that I. Well, you know what? I have the other audio. Let me play it real quick. All right.
And echoed what Tortorella said. So
did you hear that?
Feel the need.
Yeah, I hear it.
All right, hang on. All right, I'm gonna play it real quick.
This happened in baseball last year with the Tampa Bay Rays. There were 5 members of the Tampa Bay Rays who wouldn't wear a patch supporting gay rights, and Major League Baseball didn't do much. It was a story for a little bit. John Tortorella, many years ago, when racial injustice, and it still is till this day, but when Colin Kaepernick first started kneeling during national anthem, said anyone who does that on my team is going to sit. And he has a son who's an Army Ranger. So it's not like Tortorella in the past hasn't spoken on sensitive issues. The theme from the National Hockey League is hockey is for everyone. Okay? The theme is not hockey is for everyone, ... unless you don't believe in gay rights, then do whatever you want. If the National Hockey League is going to do this, if any league is going to do this, do it properly or reevaluate what you're doing. Because there's not a lot of repercussions that I'm seeing from any league. Now, it could change with the NHL. I think you find the Flyers $1 million for this. I'm not kidding. Figure this out and stop offending people on nights where it's not about that. It's supposed to be about inclusivity. The National Hockey League need to attack this and figure this out. Because what I heard last night was offensive and didn't make any sense. Because, for instance, if that was a military night, okay?
Right.
If anyone in Canada or in the States on a military appreciation night wouldn't wear a jersey pregame, do you have any idea the uproar that would have happened on that? Do you have any idea the backlash? Do you have any idea what happened on social media? It's ridiculous what would have happened.
It was just a minute ago we were talking about the uproar that was happening with FIFA fever, where if you were seen with so much as
Okay, you see this?
anywhere, you had to fear for your life,
Can
imprisonment,
you see it?
or death.
Yeah.
Seriously. Okay. So, and now here we are.
I just think the NHL has to do something here. This is not good enough. This is not good enough. Hockey is for everyone, ... unless you don't agree with gay rights is not the phrasing of this. You're either in this or you're not. And one last point. Nothing scares me more than any human being who says, I'm not doing this because of my religious beliefs. Because when you looked in people's lives, you normally say that publicly, you'd throw up at what you saw. You would throw up at what you saw. And I have seen that a million times in a lot of different ways. So don't give me that. With respect. Don't give me that because no one's perfect. All right? Don't feed me the religious beliefs line. And all of a sudden, the NHL is going to back off this.
All right.
Today.
All right. Let me stop this real quick. This is a bunch of crap, man.
I agree with a lot of what he said.
Well, no, I don't. You're going to sit here and you're going to start preaching about, if you care about the hockey league, then you should care about freaking the LGBTQ community. No, I don't. What in the world does being gay has anything to do with hockey? What does being gay have anything to do with hockey?
Can I answer?
Go ahead.
Okay. You remember the argument we had about how the NHL was trying to bring more black players into the league?
I think I remember vividly.
Okay.
Yeah.
They're trying to do the same thing with the LGBTQ community because the NHL has a poor and I think hockey in general has a poor history of inclusivity. And what they want to do, they want to show everyone that hockey is for everyone because they want to promote the brand. That's why that's why he said what he said. Now you can continue, or can I talk about what I agree with him the most on?
All right, you go ahead. I remember.
Okay. If we had a situation where a guy didn't want to wear a military pregame warm up, he would absolutely get crucified.
Wait, say that one more time.
If an NHL player didn't want to wear a military camo thing for support the military, he would absolutely get crushed for that. Absolutely, he would. By the same people who sit there and cheer on the player for not wearing a Pride shirt, they would turn around and be absolutely upset. They would be, telling the team if they should fire him or you don't care about the military. And you want to know why I know that? Because that's essentially what they did with Colin. They did that with Craig Hodges. They did that with Sharif Abdul-Rauf in the NBA. Those players decided not to be patriotic, at least in their mind, patriotic, and they got blackballed for it. All three of them. But I guarantee you, Ivan Provorov is going to play again. He's going to play. I think he even played. He even played tonight. Those guys are not going to they're not going to face the same punishment, and I think that's kind of what the problem is. That's what the problem is, because there's always one set of rules for one group of people, and there's another set of rules for other group of people. You can go.
I gotta respond because I think what you're saying is a load of crap.
Look it up. Look it up.
No. Look. Now you mean to tell me that a guy who's out there fighting for his life, fighting for our country, right, risking his life, is equivalent than somebody who has same-sex attraction? You mean to tell me that's the same? You mean to tell both of that? You mean that is actually more less honorable than the LGBTQ community?
You know,
Is that is that what you're
it's not
saying?
about
All right,
honorable. It's not about honorable.
so
It's not
don't
about honorable.
no
It's
no
not
no no
about
no no
honorable.
no 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 no, listen. Any decent human being should have the common sense to realize that the military is here to protect us and our freedoms and our rights.
Not
Okay.
everyone feels that way.
Well, so what's the military here for? If somebody is actually out there don't feel that way, what is the you ask? I want to know that what is the military stands for?
You
What are they here for?
ask them that question.
No,
You
I
ask
don't
them that
believe that
question.
for a second. I don't believe that. I don't believe that. Oh,
You
not
ask them
everybody
that
feels
question.
that way. I don't believe that.
And you ask them that question.
I don't believe that. That's BS, and you know it.
Hmm.
That's a bunch of BS. So a guy that goes out there fighting for our country is protecting me and is protecting you, and this guy, this knucklehead, is not the same as somebody not wanting to stand up for the LGBTQ community. It's not the same thing. It's not hypocrisy. It's not. They are fighting for us to protect this country. So of course,
So when I tell you,
so of course, no.
that the
I want to finish.
punishment,
I let you finish. I let you finish. I want to
yeah,
finish.
go ahead.
So when people are out there fighting for our country to keep us safe, to reserve our rights, our freedoms, that is not the same thing as somebody not wanting to honor the LGBTQ community or to honor pride. That's not the same thing. It's not.
You don't have to say. You don't have to act like it's the same thing.
I don't give a crap about honoring you having same sex attraction as somebody as the same sex. I don't need to honor that. I'm going to honor what is actually important in this country, and what matters is that this country remains having the same traditional values, which is one of those values is actually freedom of speech, and and they are out there protecting us and protecting our rights.
I'm glad you mentioned that. I'm glad you
So
mentioned
why?
that.
So why in the world?
I'm glad you mentioned that.
So why in the?
You finish? You finish? Come on,
So
let's go.
so
Let's go. Let's go.
no. I want to. Yeah, I want to finish.
Mm-hmm.
So why in the world are you going to make the same comparison as honor, like as if both of those are equivalently admirable? It's not. And you call yourself a journalist? You mean to tell me that you couldn't differentiate between the two? And you're a journalist? You don't know what you're talking about, man. I don't know who this guy is, but he clearly does not know what he's talking about, and he's getting all upset, all irate, getting his panties in the bunch for no reason. We
I
believe
feel
in
like you're
Jesus
doing.
Christ.
I mean, you're doing that right now. You need to calm down.
Listen. Christians believe in Jesus Christ.
Mm-hmm.
We believe in the Bible. We
Mm-hmm.
have traditional values, and we want to continue to live that by our lifestyle, the
Mm-hmm.
way Jesus Christ did, how he honored his Father. And we're trying to do the same thing. We're not perfect, but we're trying to do the exact same thing,
Mm-hmm.
right? And by honoring the LGBTQ community will be a contradiction in our belief system.
Mm-hmm.
And we don't want to live by that. We don't. Being gay is abnormal. Being gay is sin. Being gay is wrong. And so we're not going to stand up for that because of our beliefs, because of what Jesus says, because of what the Bible says. That's why. And him being a Christian, I applaud him 10 times over.
Well, I don't know if he's a Christian. I don't know that. I don't know if he's a Christian. He's Russian, so I don't know what their primary religion is over there. And I don't know what his religion is. But you finished?
Go ahead. Go ahead.
What I said, you said that what I said was hogwash. No, it wasn't hogwash. Like I said before, you have players who have been blackballed because they didn't show this quote American patriotism. Now, we have Lazarus is in the chat right now, and for everyone who don't know, he is a military. He's a military veteran. Props to him. Like this dude's tougher than all me and you combined.
Agreed.
You seen some crazy shit. So I would never ever disrespect him for that. But not everybody believes in the whole military thing that I respect in what you believe.
What do they believe in?
No, you believe in supporting your military.
Oh no.
You support the
You
military.
said there's people that don't believe the military like we do. So what do they believe that the military is?
You have to ask them, Steve. I don't know. But if a player decided not to wear a military camo not playoff, but a pregame warm up jersey, what would your opinion be?
If they decide not to wear a premium military jersey,
Yeah, do the same thing that happened with the pride thing. Let's say if you they have military night, they had the a pregame jersey with the military, and one player decided not to wear it. What would your opinion be?
I would say, well, this guy obviously is appreciated enough that the military is here to protect everybody, including him. He's an idiot for not wearing it. That's what I would say.
Okay, so you were criticizing for not wearing it.
Correct.
So why is it that you're what? So you're saying that you would criticize him for it, right?
Yes.
But I just don't understand. Like so
You,
you're
you do you do understand
no
because
I
it's not
don't
the
no I
same.
don't no no
They're,
no no no
they're
no
both
no
not equal. They're
no
not equal.
to you they're not equal. To
They're
you they're
not.
not equal.
They're not.
To you they're not equal.
No, that's a
No,
fact. They're not
to
equal.
you they're not equal. To someone else who is gay, it's the reverse. But you don't care about that, which is fine. Which is perfectly fine. Just admit this. Just admit it, and then we can move on. Just admit it and move on. That's it. Like to me, if he decides not to wear military garb to support the military, and like I said, I appreciate what the military does for my freedom. But if he had the right,
That's why you wear it. That's why you wear it.
But if I decide not to wear it, I shouldn't get any punishment for it. Because at the end of the day, they're fighting for my freedom to do what I want. They're protecting my freedoms, even if they don't like what I'm doing with my freedom. As long as it's not hurting nobody, there's nothing they can do about it. If a player decides not to wear military garb, my camera's no good, bro. My camera's no good.
That's just an excuse. But go ahead.
No. My camera's no good. My camera's no good. Don't worry. I'm gonna be on cam by the end of the year because once I get a new computer, once I get a new computer, get everything set up, you're gonna see my face.
Most likely
you're gonna see my beautiful face.
Most likely that's December 31st. Just so you all know.
Regardless of all that, if someone decides they don't want to, because for whatever reason, maybe they don't like war, they don't like guns, for whatever reason, they have a right to say, I'm not comfortable wearing it. But the problem is that people who have done that, or even people who have been perceived as being anti-American, have been punished, have been blackballed by their league. And I've already given you three examples. But yet people can freely and rightfully so, be like, oh, I don't want to wear the gay pride stuff. They have every right to do so. But if they have the right to not wear the gay stuff, you should have people who have the right for all their religions. You should get everybody their religious freedoms. Everyone should be equal. Everything should be equal.
Is that it?
Did you freeze? Yeah, I'm done.
Oh, okay. You mentioning all this equal stuff. Like I said, it's not equal. It's not the same thing.
No, to you it's not.
No, it's not. Okay. Is it the same thing to you?
As far as I'm concerned, it's all relative to me.
No.
It's all relative to me. Look, if someone decides not to wear military garb, I'm not going to get offended by it. It is what it is.
You're not answering the question.
I already answered the question. I don't care.
Is it the same thing?
I said it don't.
I didn't say if you care or not. Is it the same thing? Are those two things when it comes to the LGBTQ community and the military?
Mm-hmm.
Is it the same thing?
As far as I'm concerned, I don't. Like I said, Steve.
No, you know it's not. You don't give me hogwash. You know it's not. It's not the same thing. That's why he's an idiot for even comparing them to two.
No, I already said I don't agree with the writer's saying. All I'm saying is that when you have a situation where a player has not shown his quote American patriotism, he gets blackballed from the leagues. And that don't happen with guys who do the same thing for the gay pride stuff. So the punishment aren't the same. All I'm saying is that it should be equal for everybody. That's all I'm saying. And the people who say keep politics out of sports, it's not that they like politics. They don't like politics that they don't agree with. It's the politics they don't agree with. Rah rah USA #1, American flag flying all over it. They're okay with that type of propaganda. It is propaganda. By the sheer definition, it's all propaganda. The military has pretty much admitted that. But you fly a couple of rainbow colors out there and people lose their minds. And I'm like, there's nothing to lose your mind over. If you're okay with one, then if you accept one, you have to accept the other. At the end of the day, if you're going to accept this, then you have to accept the other thing also.
No,
because at the end of the day, we all know what the what sports team do. All this is for publicity. All this is for attention. All this is for marketing. That's all this is. They may care about those communities, but we all know why they're doing it for. They're doing it for money. They're doing it for branding. That's it. That's why they're doing it.
One last.
All right, I want him to finish.
Point. Nothing scares me more than any human being who says, I'm not doing this because of my religious beliefs. Because when you looked at people's lives, you normally say that publicly, you'd throw up at what you saw. You would throw up at what you saw. And I have seen that a million times in a lot of different ways. So don't give me that. With respect. Don't give me that because no one's perfect. All right? Don't feed me the religious beliefs line. And all of a sudden the NHL is going to back off this. The National Hockey League today.
This is the other thing that pissed me off.
Needs to find that organization $1 million and reevaluate.
A freaking $1 million? Wait. So the whole entire organization should be fined $1 million because somebody is practicing his beliefs. Somebody is actually obeying God. Who has obviously far more authority than you. You mean to tell me that organization should be fined $1 million because he's practicing his beliefs? That he has full right to disagree with somebody else's lifestyle? Now the organization should be fined because of that? Who are you? $1 million? $1 million. So this is the route where we go through. How this is not freedom anymore. This is not freedom. Don't sit here and tell me on public on TV you want to sit here and actually have the gall, the audacity to say that an organization should get fined $1 million because he did not wear a stupid patch.
No, actually, it was actually a full blown jersey.
Yeah. The patch was with baseball, right? Wasn't the patch? Yeah. A jersey and their hockey stick. You mean to tell me? Okay, what's your opinion on that?
No, I don't agree with him. Because I don't believe that you should impose your beliefs onto other people. And I agree, and I believe that both ways. I agree with that. I agree with that both ways. Just like I don't think gay people should enforce their beliefs on you, just like religious people shouldn't force their religious beliefs onto them. At the end of the day, you guys should just mind your own fucking business. Now, if you work together, then you're gonna have to learn how to coexist. You gotta learn to coexist.
What do you mean by that?
You have to learn how to work together. If you're working with someone who is not you don't agree with in any way, shape, or form, but you guys are at a job or whatever, you have to work together. You're gonna have to work together eventually. You know what I'm saying? Like, and a lot of people, and the people who I see who are always like fighting people online back and forth about God and not believing and all the other shit, is like at the end of the day, like when something bad happens, I'm not gonna ask the person, "Oh, what do you believe in?" before I try to save your life. No, like at the end of the day, you have to learn to coexist. You have to learn to coexist. That's why, while I agree with you, I agree with you that they shouldn't be finding the organization because you don't want to push. You're not trying to push belief that they don't believe in onto them. That would be wrong. That would be wrong. But I also feel like the same way should go the other way as well.
Yeah, so for him, like he just continues to be idiotic. Like I said earlier, I thought when it comes to journalism, you're supposed to have common sense. So again, so for one, there's absolutely nothing honorable of same sex relationship. There's nothing
According to you.
honorable.
According to you.
There's nothing honorable
According to
about.
you.
There's nothing honorable about transgenderism.
Okay, according to you.
All right, all right. There's nothing honorable about that.
According to you.
Only one of those things honorable, and only one of those things is honorable. Actually having honoring the military, that's honorable. Honoring something that is abnormal, that's just weird to me. That's weird. People who believes in transgenderism, people who are for it, people who actually apply that stuff into their lives, there's nothing to honor about that. I don't find anything when it comes to disorder is honorable. Disorder is not honorable. I'm sorry, it's not. It's not. So for this guy to take it to links where you have to be fined $1 million, like, it's absurd. I'm sorry, it's just absurd. Don't sit here and compare freaking Pride Month, with the military. That's just stupid.
Okay. You done?
Go with the comments. Go with the comments, because I know you're gonna disagree. Go with the comments.
Yeah. Let me see. Where are we at? Okay, so David said, "Amen. That's courage of him. The fact that he's getting hate is religious discrimination. Religious discrimination is if he got punished for what he did. He didn't get punished for what he did. Like, he's gonna get hate regardless. But like he was able to play. He's gonna continue playing. That's not really discrimination." And then Lazaro said at you, it does when you own a business. What are you referring to, Lazaro? Let me.
What are you referring to, Lazaro?
The difference is the military is fighting for our freedom, while the LGBTQ community promotes an unhealthy lifestyle. You can't compare the two.
Exactly.
According to people who live in that lifestyle, I'm not saying they're the same, but like at the end of the day, they want, all they want is acceptance for who they are. That's it. And just because any random person can sit there and say, "Well, I don't care what the military is fighting for," they can say that. I mean, you don't have to agree, but you have plenty of people who believe that. You know what I'm saying? Like, again, all they want is acceptance. That's it. That's why the whole LGBTQ thing exists. That's why it exists. And I mean, again, you guys don't have to believe me. I'm just telling you guys what it is.
Wait, why does it exist?
Why does it exist? Because for years, and even now, they feel discriminated against. And you can't tell me that hasn't happened. You can't say that it don't exist, because it absolutely has existed. And the fact that the LGBTQ movement has quelled some of it, but it's still a long way to go. Again, it's not about accepting it. To me, at least to me,
I gotta stop you. You said they still have a long way to go.
Yeah.
How is it that the LGBTQ community, people who are gay, people who are transgenders, what lengths do they need to go?
So that
they could still go to games. They can still go to NFL. They can still go to NHL. They can still go to football games, basketball games.
Mm-hmm.
They can still have a job. They can still have a house. They can still have just about pretty much anything that they want.
Not, not universal marriage.
What's hindering them now?
They can't universally adopt kids without pushback. You completely forgot that bullshit, did you? You completely forgot that, now did you?
They could get married right now. They could get married right now.
Not in every state.
Well, I don't know about that, but I think they could get married in every state. I think.
And they can't adopt kids easily.
Just not in the church.
And they can't adopt kids easily.
I would have to look it up. I'm not sure. So
I'll look it up.
I'm a layman when it comes to that. That's all.
Yeah, I'll look it up too. But I saw an article. I'll look it up. Lazlo said, "Don't like it, get out." I mean, that's freedom isn't free. You tell him, Steve.
Yeah, of course I'm going to tell him.
That was you're telling me it's hogwash, though. You know what you're telling me is hogwash. Whether we realize it or not, we all act in accordance to our religious beliefs. That man's opinion is based on his religious material secularism.
Secularism.
That's a lot of big words. But yeah, no, look, I'm not saying he shouldn't act the way that he's doing. As long and I've always stayed true to this. As long as the team is okay with it, then there's nothing for me to push back on. There's nothing for me to push back on. My thing is, if he can do that, then everyone should have the same freedom that he does. This is my beliefs. This is what I believe, with no pushback. That's all I'm saying. Lazlo said, "Wow, this guy's comparing the military to LGBTQ." I'm not comparing the two. I'm just telling you that everyone's mindset are different when it comes to the comparison. Everything is relative.
What we're saying is that the military and pride is not equivalent. That's what we're saying.
And
it's not synonymous.
I'm telling you that if someone decided to wear a pride shirt, not to wear a pride shirt, nothing's gonna happen to him. If he decides not to wear a military shirt, he's likely going to get blackballed. That's what I'm saying. So they're not. You're right. They're not the same, because if you
finally he said it. They're not the same.
If you dismiss one, you get nothing. If you dismiss the other, you lose your livelihood. Tell me, how is that fair?
Because the military is also protecting the same guy who decides not to wear it.
Okay, but what is the military protecting him from?
What do you mean protect? What is he protecting him? What you know what would happen to us if we had no military? Hey, come on, Hoobie, don't
every fucking country has a military.
All right,
what is the military protecting him from?
Hoobie, don't do this, man.
No, talk to me. Talk.
They're protecting our freedoms, like as they should.
To do what?
What do you mean to do what?
To do what?
All right, you're playing dumb right now. I'm not playing with your stupidity.
I'm gonna answer for you. They fight for our rights to do what we want. Okay? If they fight for our right to either to support them or not support them, to celebrate them or not celebrate them, to raise the flag or piss on it, they protect our freedoms to do what we want. That's what they're protecting us from. So if I don't want to wear a military outfit, I don't have to fucking wear one. If I'm in China, I don't get that same liberties. If I'm in some other socialist or communist country or dictatorship, I don't get that type of freedom. That's what they're fighting for. That's the freedom that they're fighting. They're fighting for our freedoms to do what we want. That would make this country great. But like I pointed out, if you do one certain thing, you get nothing. If you do another certain thing, you lose your livelihood. And to me, that's not fair. I don't look at that as being fair. All right. So Ruben said the price of dishonor is affordable. I I agree with that. David said LGBT Q LGTG ruins children's lives. Look up all the teenager detransitioning. Like, look, like I said, like to me, I've been honest, and Steve can back me up on this. I said straight up that transitioning for teenagers should be disallowed. Because like I said before, like teenagers, they don't know what the fuck they want. They don't know what the fuck they want until they turn 18. When they can make the money, then they can do whatever the fuck they want. But when they're a teenager, just let them be teenagers. Let them figure it out.
Yeah, but you
But,
say
but,
that.
but,
You
but,
say
don't take it to the point. Now, and I know where he's going at with this too. I know, but I'm just talking about from my perspective. To me, don't put your kids in a situation they will make a huge mistake. If something changes in their chemistry, and be like, damn, I should not have done that when I was younger or whatever. Like you can't you have to let kids be kids. You have to let teenagers be teenagers. That's why we don't allow little girls to get boob jobs at 15. Or at least they shouldn't be at 15. You know what I mean? Like for the same reason. They're kids. Like what they feel like now at 15, they're probably gonna feel differently at 16. Teenagers are crazy motherfuckers, man. They are. They're weirdos, but you have to let them be weirdos. All right, Lazo says when you own a business, you create your rules. If you don't like it, find another job. I don't know, man. Like I think you have to be careful with that because let's say if you have a job, right? Let's say
he's right.
No, I think he is, but you have to be careful though. If you have a job and you're like, well, I'm not hiring you because you're transgender or whatever. Let's say hypothetical. Then I believe they can sue you for discrimination. They can sue you for that.
For being transgender, I don't think so.
It's called I think it's discrimination. I mean, if they can prove it, if you can skirt that line, then I mean, you're right. If you can skirt that line, that's cool. Like if you can, but obviously, as long as as long as your rules are valid, you know what I mean, then I guess you don't have nothing to. I guess you have nothing to worry about. But
Yeah,
no,
but yeah. So I think go ahead. Read the.
yeah. But that's what this promotion of LGBTQ value does. It creates situations where kids make massive mistakes and ruin their lives. How is that right to support that?
Thank you so much. I can't wait to hear his response.
No. I'll respond because at the end of the day, like people are who they are, and they have the right to feel who they feel, what they feel like, and make decision that makes them happy. That's it. Like I said before, the mistake if you have a kid, what is the difference between a kid transitioning and having a girl get breast implants? It's wrong either way. I don't agree with it either way. You know what I'm saying? Like to me, it's all up to the parents. It's up to the parents. And yeah, you have bad parents out there. I mean, you have bad parents who are religious to the bone, but that doesn't make them good parents. Like there's bad parents no matter what they believe in. That's all I'm saying. So if someone is a murderer, they have the right to murder people. I mean, murder is against the law. Murder is against the law. I mean,
well, look, David is spot on because this is the reason why we should never, under any circumstance, support things that are abnormal, things that actually could hinder society, things that actually causes confusion. Because at the end of the day, it'll cause destruction ultimately. That's what it does. And then when it comes to especially when it comes to transgenderism, And I predicted this was going to happen years ago. So real quick, David and Lazaro, years ago, I forgot where we were. I don't know if we were at the ale house or whatever, but years ago, I kept on telling Hoovy, and I kept on telling Johannes and whoever else that was with us. I said, if we are going to continue to support this type of nonsense, all it's going to do is hurt society at the end of the day. And look what's been happening. Like you said, people regret making the transition, and either they probably cannot go back, or their bodies act in a certain way. It doesn't act normal anymore because they're pretty much going against the grain, if you will. You know what I'm saying? And we already seen what's been going on, with bathrooms, locker rooms, competitions. How when a transgender woman who's born a man goes against biological women, you see how it hurts their futures, whether if it's with rewards, scholarships, etc., etc. All this does has just made society worse, not better. It makes society worse. Why in the world are we going to stand here and support and cheer something that actually hinders society, that actually hurt kids? You know what I'm saying? That's why I will never go for it. And that is why the most proper way to do it is to actually provide correction, to let people know that normacy is actually the best way for society. Going by nature, going by what the Bible says, going by what God says. That's what would actually help society.
So pushing
Not
your
not
religion
not
onto
not
them.
not not, not going against the grain.
So pushing your
And
religion
and
onto
and
them, right?
huh?
Pushing your religion onto them.
No. Look, if they don't want to believe in Jesus,
Oh my God.
if they don't want to believe in Jesus Christ, that's them. But when it comes to God, it does align with nature. It does. It does. And I'm
Okay. So
sorry.
and then you sit there and you say, "Oh, I don't hate gay people." Like you're Steve. Like, come on, bro. This is the only reason why you want to talk about this, because you wanted, once again. You know how many times I've heard the same spiel from you on this podcast? Every time we talk about this situation, I hear the same spiel from you.
What do you hear?
Oh, I don't hate gay people, but it's abnormal. It goes against God's word.
Are those facts? Yes or no? Are those facts? Are those facts?
The fact,
Are
no,
those
no,
facts?
the ultimate fact is that you hate gay people.
No, I
You
don't.
use this
No, I
podcast,
don't.
and
No,
you
I
use
don't.
this podcast
I don't hate gay
through
people.
sports.
I
No,
don't hate gay people.
I don't hate gay people, but they're going to be the cause of this downfall of society. But I don't hate you guys. I don't hate you guys. You are the sole reason why society is breaking down and going straight to hell. But I don't hate you guys.
No, I don't. I just don't
Go
hate. I just hate their lifestyle.
go,
You
go
could you
talk
could
about
you could you could
talk
you
about
could you could
Ubisoft.
you could hate people's lifestyle or disagree with their lifestyle. That doesn't mean you hate them. The Bible says you have to love everybody. You have to love your neighbor, and that is the commandment that I have to follow even now. But that doesn't, just because I love my neighbor, that doesn't mean I have to love what they do. It's two completely different things. You're trying to have this "oh I got you" moment on me, but you're not
Oh
going. That's
no,
not going to
it's not
happen.
like it's not about I got
That's not
you.
going to happen. That's not going to happen.
I am trying. I'm completing the sentence for you that you don't want to answer. I am telling you what you are, and you don't want to listen.
No, I'm listening. You just don't want to listen. You don't see how this has been hindering and hurting people. You don't see it because you
I
don't
don't
want to see it. You
understand.
want
I
you
don't
want to be
fucking care.
you want to be myopic in the situation, which is
I don't
fine. Which
care.
is fine. If you want to go on the blind eye and pretend that everything is all peachy and lollipops and gumdrops, then that's fine. You do that. You could live in your delusions if you want, but
Listen, the
I
only
will
person who
actually
lives in
go.
a fantasy world is you.
I will go by reality,
The only person who lives in
and
a fantasy
and
world is you.
I will go by reality.
You're the only one here that lives in a fantasy world, not me.
I don't live in the fantasy world. I don't live in the fantasy.
Yeah. Well,
I don't live in the fantasy
you're
world.
telling me tales about a book and some stones, and you tell me you don't live in the fantasy world.
Books and some stones.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, I don't live in the fantasy world. I don't. You want to know what you want to know what I live by? I go by the Bible. That's what I live by. I go by the Bible, the ultimate source of life,
Mm-hmm.
something that actually speaks truth,
Mm-hmm.
something that is good for mankind. That is good.
Mm-hmm.
The gospel, truth, someone who is sovereign, someone who is righteous, someone who is holy. That is the person I'm going to go by. I'm going to go by the exact same individual who died for my sins and who rose and conquered sin and death. That's the person who I'm going to go by.
Sounds
And
like
if
a good
he
movie.
and if he's what?
Sounds like a good movie.
And if he says, and since he said no, he did say, since he says that being gay and all the other stuff is an abomination, that's what it is, and that's what I'm going to live by as well. They have
Mm-hmm.
standards here, buddy. In case you didn't know, God is sovereign, and I'm going to go by what He says at all times, sir. Now, I'm not saying that that I'm perfect, but I'm not going to be supporting something that the Bible forbids.
Mm.
I'm not going to be supporting something that the Bible forbids. I'm not. I'm not. Now, I need Christ, which is why I'm not perfect. I'm not perfect. That's why I need Him, and I need Him at all times to keep me at bay, which is why I repented for my sins for salvation, and I will continue to repent for my sanctification. And obviously, you don't want to hear this, but it is one of the main reasons why I cannot and I refuse to support the LGBTQ community. I'm not going to support something that God forbids, and I'm not going to support anything where it just goes against nature anyway. So guys, so people, men and women who are unbelievers, who don't believe in the Bible, should actually have the common sense to see that this doesn't go with nature anyway. It doesn't. And I already explained to you how when it comes to Pride Month and the whole when it comes to Pride Month, how that wasn't the true meaning of the rainbow anyway. With all the different colors, I already told you that that doesn't really mean anyway. So they took that away from us, and now they're trying to force us to go on their side. Absolutely not. I'm not doing that.
So you're just forcing you. So you're gonna force them to go on your side.
They don't have to go. They don't have to go on our side. But let me tell you what,
Go.
they will be judged.
Let's
They will
go.
be
Let's go
judged.
to Ubisoft. Talk
They
about
will be
Ubisoft.
judged. They will be judged. No, you asked me the question, and now you want to say, "Oh, let's just go to
Oh, you
Ubisoft."
answered, you answered the question a minute ago. Now you're just rambling. You can talk about Ubisoft.
All right. Well, Ruben says, "Amen." Yes, amen. Ruben, amen. For the Lord is good, and He will always will be. Bit Pope says they're good. What you know what you know what he means?
Nope. But I think I have an idea, but I want him to clarify.
No, no, tell me.
No. Now, Ruben, you can correct me if I'm wrong. Actually, hold on. Let me look this up right now. Let me look this up right now.
What
'Cause
you looking up?
bit. I think Bit Pope. Look at it. Look at it. See. No, it doesn't. It doesn't come. Nothing comes up. So yeah, nothing comes up, Ruben. So can you just explain? This this yeah, explain what that means. But anyway, go ahead. Go ahead, Steve. Talk about Ubisoft.
Um, Let me see if I can find it. Let's see. All right, so we're going to go on gaming news now, ladies and gentlemen. The sports news is over, at least for this week, and we will be going to gaming news now. But before we go to gaming news, there's actually two things that I wanted to mention since we're going to be talking about gaming, and this is what I'm going to be talking about right here, right now. Hold on, let me see if I can find it. Um, okay, so this is an old article. I'm gonna get to Ubisoft real quick, but this is an old article that we talked about a little earlier. Can you see it?
No, no, you gotta share it.
Crap again. All right, hang on. Um, that and hang on a second. Oh my goodness. Okay. Okay.
What's going on, bro?
No, I was trying to find something and I couldn't find it. Now I found it. I officially found it. All right. So we're going to gaming news now, ladies and gentlemen. And and although this is old news, I just want
Wait. You know what I think he means? I think Ruben said that the Pope says that they're good.
that the LGBTQ is a good thing.
I think that's what he said. I think that's what he means. But like I said, I want him to clarify.
Okay. So we there's a the reason why I'm mentioning this is since we're talking about gaming real quick, there is a countdown, unfortunately, because we're obviously in January. So in 2 more months, the Nintendo Wii U and the 3DS eShop on March 27, 2023 won't users won't be able to add new funds to their account after August 29, 2022. But they will, I think they will be officially closed in in March 2023. They're going to be closing. So that's the bad news. The good news is that I am planning on going to Super Nintendo World, which opens on the 17th in February. So at least there's somewhat good news from Nintendo. I'm actually going to be going. Obviously, Hoovy doesn't want to go,
That's not what I
and
said.
and
That's
well,
not
you
what I
didn't
said.
you didn't give an answer, so
Yeah,
clearly you didn't want to go.
Okay, let me tell you what this guy did, right? This guy asked us like early in the morning. Now, mind, I'm late now. I'm a late night worker, so I was up. But a lot of everyone else in our chat are not. He's like, "Oh, are you guys going to Nintendo World?" And then 5 minutes later, he's like, "Oh, I guess no one wants to go." Like we need to answer right away. Like I said before, I do want to go. I want to go, but obviously, I want to go when I'm ready to go. When I'm ready to go.
When you're ready to go.
Yeah. I
Hmm.
can't just up and I just can't up and leave like you can.
Hmm.
So like I
Yeah,
said,
but anyway,
pick a day, and then we can go.
but anyway, yeah. So this will be opening on the 17th. I'm pretty sure tickets are probably going to be a little expensive,
A little.
but I'm pretty sure it is going to be a bit expensive. But this is an event that I really want to go to. I really want to go here. I really want to check it out. Um, I'm pretty sure Nintendo is going to make a killing when it comes to money because Mario is a very popular mascot, a very popular brand. So I'm pretty sure.
Wait. You gotta fly to Cali?
Yeah,
This is in California. I thought it was in Florida.
no, it's in California.
I
There's
thought
Universal Studios in California. You know that, right?
I know that, but I didn't. I thought the one you were. I thought they were making one in Florida.
No.
Fuck, man. Shit.
What does it matter? Let's just fly to California.
I don't want to fucking fly to California.
Like,
Shit.
like I said, I knew you wasn't going. I knew you weren't
No,
going. I
no,
knew
no,
you weren't
no,
going.
no, 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 no. I didn't say that. It just makes the trip more expensive.
Well, I mean, it is what it is. I mean, we could stay in California for a few days,
I don't
just
want to fucking
to.
stay in California for any day. What? Shit. If we're gonna go, I ain't got no choice.
And anyway, so that at least this is the good news. Although I am still upset in this situation. Get out of here, stupid ads. Although I'm still upset in this situation that they're going to be removing the eShop. I actually went to the eShop on my DS just a couple of days ago, and yeah, I was not happy that I only have a limited amount of time to buy the games that I want to buy. Especially now that it's really hard to find physical copies now, since they're not making DS games anymore. But that was a little bit frustrating. But anyway, let's go back to news. Um,
Okay.
Ubisoft.
Critical drop. I'm sorry, I interrupted you. It's coming to Orlando in the future. Could do that. Could do it during E3 week. Can we go to the one in Orlando?
I mean, okay, like critical drop. I mean, you have to give us a precise date. Like, how far in the future are we talking about? Are we talking about like next year or the year after? Like when is it? You gotta give us a date, and hopefully, you could find the date for us, if you will. Yeah. So Ubisoft Paris employees are going on strike to protest CEO catastrophic comments. Okay, let, guys, everybody that's remaining in the chat, we've been talking about this company at the very least 3 times already. 3 times probably at least. We've been talking about this company. And every single time I'm saying to myself, it just cannot get worse, and it just continues to get worse with this stupid company. Continues to get worse with this company. And so let's see what the heck is going on here now. So Ubisoft announced last week that it was not having a good 2023 so far.
Mm-hmm.
Skull and Bones was delayed again. But more seriously, the company's inability to release games that anyone cares about has caused serious financial bleeding. Now, Ubisoft is facing even more headaches as the celebrities in former um, crap informative union. I think that's it. I know I'm not saying it right, but anyway,
Oh,
has
the
called
so-
for a
the
strike.
solidarity the solidarity information. It's French. So solidarity information union.
Yeah,
Let's just Americanize it.
yeah. All right. So, union has called for a strike at Ubisoft Paris on January 27.
Yeah, which
Um,
is 4 days away.
yeah. A strike might seem like an odd response to being told the company is in trouble outside of France. At least it arises from statements made by Ubisoft CEO
Yves
Yves.
Yves Jollimont.
Wait, I say the first one.
Yves.
Yves.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I was gonna say Yves, but okay. Guillmot, who said in last week's update that the company is looking to cut 200 million to 250 million in expenses over the next 2 years through targeted reconstructing, devising some non-core assets, and usual nature attrition. In the follow-up email to Ubisoft employees reported by Kotaku, Guillemot told workers that he needs their full energy and commitment to ensure we get back on the path to success, adding, I am also asking that each of you be especially careful and strategic with your spending and initiatives to ensure we're being as efficient and lean as possible. Those words attracted to Irie the celebrities information, which called Gamont's comments catastrophic and accused the CEO of planning staff reductions, discrete studios closures, salary cuts, and disguised layoffs. Okay, I mean, real quick.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't know if I'm interpreting this, correctly or not. But if I'm not, please correct me, or anyone in the chat correct me. We just read just a few moments ago that they haven't been giving us games that we want. They haven't. So now you are doing so to fix the problem is you're going to be doing reductions and you're going to be doing disguised layoffs. So to fix the problem, to give us the games what we want, you're going to be doing layoffs. Layoffs?
No, here's what he was trying to say, right? At least what the organization that's setting up the strike, what they're saying that he's trying to do is he is trying to find ways to cut costs, right? And they're saying that he's setting up all these things like closures,
Yeah, exactly.
salary cuts, and layoffs.
That
That's
doesn't
what
help. That
that's what
doesn't
he's
help with
trying to do.
games. But that doesn't help with
No,
games.
it don't. No, it doesn't. They feel like he's going to do all those things eventually when he's talking about costs and stuff like that.
Well, when you're talking about costs and when you're talking about budgets and all the other stuff,
Mhm.
that's what it pretty much leads to. You cut
Yeah,
people's hours and you lay people off. That's what happens when you're talking about budgeting and salaries and all that other stuff. Anything when it comes to money. Whenever a
doesn't mention
company
nothing
talks,
about doesn't
go
mention
ahead.
nothing about marketing. Doesn't mention
Exactly.
anything about poor like leadership, poor leadership from him specifically. Because he's been around for a long time. He's been around for a long time. And the thing is that I shouldn't. As a gamer, I shouldn't give a fuck what your name is. But the reason why I know about him is because every time there's an Assassin's Creed game that comes out, I see his face. I see
Yeah.
him.
Yeah.
I don't see him with Splinter Cell. I don't see him with Rayman. I don't see him with good Ghost Recon. I don't see him with none of the games that I like. It's him promoting all this bullshit that you produce at that studio over the last 15, 20 years. That's all I see. And what essentially what he's doing is passing the blame onto the developers as if it's all their fault. When to me, the problem is leadership, management.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, everything falls at the head of the main boss.
Now I
If
may
they,
not be go my bad. Go ahead.
no, go ahead, go ahead, go ahead.
Yeah. I mean, I may not be a game developer, but I think it's perfectly safely to assume that whatever games that they make is because they are pretty much obeying what the boss is saying. The boss tells them what to make. Just like in any other job. If you're working in retail, you have to stock this, you have to stock that, you got to do this, you got to do that. You're just following what your boss or what your supervisor is saying. And I'm pretty sure when it comes to the game developers, they're pretty much doing the exact same thing. It's all leadership. Why the heck are you blaming the game developers for? It's your fault that why this is happening, not the game developers. They're doing everything what you tell them. Oh, finish what you was going to say.
Yeah, like this guy's been around for a long time. Like and pretty much what this is this him trying to pass the buck on to the developers. That's what he's doing. So it doesn't surprise me that they're. I mean, I think I saw an article saying that they're not going to go on strike. I don't know what the truth is because it is only one studio. I think it's important to say that it's only one studio.
Hmm.
But even with all that, this company has been on a downward spiral for years, and the fact that they're no longer making money is actually a good thing. Now, I think ultimately, I don't think they're going to. They're not going to fix it because, like you said before, all those games they canceled, and this is the same company who announced, well, how much? Like 6 Assassin's Creed games.
Oh my gosh, yeah, I
So,
remember.
so it's like, I mean, they if they release those games and they make money off of it, it only validates what they do. It only validates what they do, and that is just gonna make me not want to play their games even more.
Yeah.
So
So let me finish reading. On several occasions, Mr. Guillemot is trying to shift the blame once again onto the employees. He expects us to be mobilized to give it our all, to be as efficient and lean as possible, the union wrote in its strike call. These words mean something. Overtime, magical,
manager.
whatever,
Mhm.
pressure, burnout, etc. Mr. Gomat asks a lot from his employees, but without any compensation. The studio says salaries at Ubisoft have failed to keep up with inflation, that the company has not implemented a 4-day work week. Ubisoft reported experimented with a 36-hour work week in 2021, but declined to carry on with it, and that there are no protections in place for exhausted devs teams after their projects are completed. My goodness, man. Wow. The union is thus making four demands: an immediate 10% increase for our salaries, regardless of annual increases to compensate for inflation. With the hundreds of millions of euros obtained from Tencent, there is money in the coffers of the employers. The second one, the
Mm.
improvement of working conditions, in particular, the implementation of a 4-day week. Transparency on the evolution of the workforce, both locally and globally. Yeah, yeah, that's good too. Last one, a strong commitment against disguised dismissals and condemnation of abusive managerial policies that push employees to resign. Like, oh my goodness! Like, if you have to go on strike for stuff that really shouldn't be happening anyway, are you kidding me? Disguised dismissals. This is why I was going off earlier about when I was saying on layoffs. Disguised dismissals? Like, really? So, now correct me if I'm wrong. It seems like if they're going on strike, this stuff is pretty much has already happened.
Yeah.
This stuff, and if that's the case, no wonder we haven't been getting the games that we want. No wonder games are constantly being delayed. You don't have enough workers. You're dismissing everybody.
No, no. That part, no. I think some of the stuff that has happened is unsafe work environment, like working to exhaustion, um, lack of transparency. I'm sure that's happened before.
Yeah, but all that affects games too.
Yeah, you're right. You're right there. You're right there.
Like
But,
how
but
is this?
they have work.
Yeah.
I'm sure they have. I'm sure they have enough workers because they have like a shit ton of studios. I just think that when you have when you all you do is milk Assassin's Creed, and all your other games are carbon copies of each other. Look, okay, I'll put it to you like this: I played the Division and I played Ghost Recon. They're the same game.
Well, the Division is somewhat like a RPG type of style. I don't think it's the same as Division. I mean, as Ghost Recon.
Bro, it's the same. It is the same. I can't tell the difference between the two. It's the
Really?
same. Yeah, it's the same. And to me, like, and I remember the demo of the first Division. I remember it was ambitious. The original plot for Rainbow Six Siege was ambitious. It was about war in America, having to decide whether to shoot the military against civilians. But they pushed back on that because that's too controversial. You know what I'm saying? Man, what did they turn into? Like 5-on-5 boring horseshit hide and go seek. That's what it is. That's what Rainbow Six is. 5-on-5 hide and go seek.
So there's not even a team deathmatch in that game.
I don't. To my knowledge, they're not. To my knowledge, there isn't. And to me, like that's why I played with Vegas. That and not Terrorist Hunt. Oh yeah, Terrorist Hunt. Did they have that in that game? I know they had something similar to that in Ghost. I remember we played Ghost Recon where we would kill all the AI enemies.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I remember. Those were some fun times, man. Those were some fun. Oh man, those were some fun times. I don't think you were there as much as the other guy, but I know Randy knows. I know Jabonis knows, and my little brother they know.
What game were you talking about?
Ghost Recon, but mainly like the ones on the Xbox.
Wasn't it in first person at that time?
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
It,
I played with you guys like once or twice. I
yeah,
didn't like it.
but we loved it because we all had our own nickname. We all had our own nicknames.
Yeah, what I found strange was that you guys really didn't play that many other first person shooters anymore after that.
No, not really. It just well, me, obviously I play Call of Duty, but
Well, I'm talking about together, like when we were all together at the
yeah,
time.
but like I said, those guys stopped playing games.
Well, not Jabonis.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Yeah, he still plays. So I mean, let me see. I guess I'll read this last one, and yeah, I'll read this last thing. So the call for a strike is limited to Ubisoft Paris rather than the company as a whole, because Celerity's Information is a French trade union with a chapter at the Paris studios and numerous other tech companies in France, but not others. This isn't the first time it's taken action against Ubisoft. In 2021, the union filed legal action against Ubisoft over allegations of institutional sexual harassment, and later that year, it criticized Ubisoft plans to move into NFTs as useless, costly, and ecologically mortifying. I reached out to Ubisoft for comment on the strike call and will update if I receive any apply. Bro, once again, I'm actually getting really sick and tired of talking about this company. But the thing is, I'm always in hope that we would get some good news from them. But yet, every single time when I see an article about Ubisoft, it's always bad news. Always bad news. And I didn't know that the Division and Ghost Recon was pretty much the same game. Like I know I've heard some people say it, but I thought they were just talking about as far as the landscaping, like the environment, like it's an open world type of game.
What?
As far as like Ghost Recon and the Division, and there was another game I forgot what it was that was open world, and they pretty much said it was the exact same thing.
Uh,
So
well, okay. When it comes to both of them are technically obviously Ghost Recon, the one that they made, the last one is open world. Is open world, right? And the old ones, they weren't open world either, but they had like huge maps, right? So yeah, I guess that's the difference. But when you look at the aesthetics of it, you look at the UI, man, it feels too familiar. It feels too familiar,
mhm.
and it's like, bro, like this shit. Like I played it, and this shit's not fun, man. It is not fun.
You pretty much got bored with it.
Yeah,
Okay. Well, yeah. So look. If they're going to go on strike, and if this is going to, I'm glad that, like you said, there's many different studios. But if this is going to compromise, you know, future games in any way, then it just validates my point that there's really no reason for me to hold on to this company anymore. I'm different from you when it comes to Assassin's Creed. I think Assassin's Creed is a good franchise, but that's not all I want to play. There's other games that I actually find more exciting than Assassin's Creed, despite the fact that I like it. I prefer Splinter Cell over Assassin's Creed. I prefer Ghost Recon over Assassin's Creed. So if all you're going to give me is just one type of game and you're just going to milk that franchise like it's another Call of Duty, that's not going to work for me. And if you can get your studio in order and actually have a good environment, for the workplace, and if games are going to constantly get delayed over and over again, sell the company. Just sell the company at this point. Sell the company. Whether if it's with Sony, Microsoft, Google, I don't get somebody, because this type of stuff is unacceptable. Ubisoft was like one of the greatest publishing developing companies, and now all we're going to be getting is Assassin's Creed and in a bunch of weird titles that nobody cares about. And mind you, an Assassin's Creed game that we have actually no gameplay footage whatsoever, but yet you wanted us to pre-order that game. Get out of here. Go ahead.
yeah. Like I said, I'm not surprised by this. It is what it is. Um, I don't know, man. I don't know, man. Like I just don't care anymore. Like I just don't. Like let me read some comments from Brendan, who's in the chat. How you doing, bro? How you doing? Let me see. Let me go up. Okay. Critical Drop said that probably 2024 or 2025. Holy crap. because it's currently being constructed. Plus, they're doing tests to see if it's a success in California. Like I said, y'all go to E3. If y'all go to E3, go to Universal.
Well, it's funny that you mentioned E3 because I remember I asked Hoovy, one of the six here,
Mm-hmm.
that if E3 officially finally gets open, that we should go,
And I said
and
no.
you said no.
Yeah.
So
Now, like I said,
there you have it.
if we go, then it is what it is. Like I'll go, but it's like the I don't want to go to that version of E3. That's not the E3 that I grew up liking.
So there you go. Now you obviously, if you want to wait till 2024, 2025, that's
No,
fine.
no, no,
But,
no,
but
no,
I'm
no,
but, but I'm
I
but
don't
I'm
want to.
going.
I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. I'm gonna be like, no, I'm good.
Okay, so you're going.
I mean, we'll discuss
Ah,
it.
see, there you go. There you go,
We'll
everybody. See,
discuss it. We'll discuss
this
it.
is what I go through. Okay, go ahead.
We'll discuss it. We'll discuss it. All right. So, Brendan, how you doing, bro?
What's up,
Well, they
Brian?
don't
I'm
produce
glad that
game
you're here, brother,
testers.
man.
Um, I used to be a game tester. Oh, okay. These shops are sweatshops for dollars for money.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, I can understand a union formation. Division and Division Two were a complete letdown from what they showed in E3.
Oh, bro, I remember that. I was so hyped and excited for the division when they showed it on E3. I thought it was going to be a phenomenal game, but we were tricked, just like how we got tricked on Watch Dogs.
Yeah,
Definitely got tricked.
from the same company.
We got bamboozled by the same company. Exactly. Yes.
All right, so yeah, it's open world hunt shit, weaker than COD open world, but prettier. I played Ghost Recon and the successors a lot, and he said that he liked Point Break. I think which was the Point Break. Was it the first one or second one? I know Wildland. I know they had Wildlands and Point Break, so he liked both. Me, I just like it's not the Ghost Recon that I grew up with, and it's not it's not the game that I grew up with.
Yeah.
And I watched gameplay, and I'm like, yo, this shit looks dull. To me, it looked dull. Maybe if I played it,
Which one?
the Ghost Recon game.
Yeah, but didn't they make two of them?
Yeah, but they're pretty much the same, but just in different environments. And Point Break was the first one that I saw, and it was like, oh man, I don't like what they're doing with this. I didn't like what they were doing with it. This yeah, I didn't like it. So
Well,
yeah, I
that's all
mean,
for me, man.
yeah.
You got your last one, so we could get out of here.
Okay. Okay, let me share. Oh, yeah. Thing up there. Former 343 devs. Hold on. Do you see anything?
Um, all I see is a white. All I see is a white page. Just
Yeah.
everything is all white.
Okay, let's refresh. All right. Well, okay. Okay. Former
Snap, my bad. I wanted to ask. Um,
3.3.
is anybody in the chat would want to go to the Nintendo Land and Critical Drop? Is that a place where you want to go, McKenz? You want to go to Nintendo Land, or you rather just wait like Hoovy over here? Go ahead, my bad. Go ahead.
Former 343 devs respond to Microsoft layoffs. They set Halo up for failure, and I guess the story has been updated. Multiple former employees have publicly criticized Microsoft leadership and management policies. What you need to know. Okay, so thankfully they have this in a bulletin. Microsoft recently announced it intent to lay off 10,000 workers of employees between now and June 30, 2023. So far, Halo Infinite 343 Studios has been hit particularly hard by these cuts and has lost over 60 of its employees. Now, 343 is the studio behind Halo Infinite and the Halo franchise. And the Halo Infinite, I think people over exaggerate how much it's struggling, but it's not doing great.
Mm-hmm.
It's not doing great. Now, former 343 industry developers have voiced scathing criticisms of Microsoft leadership and management policies on social media after details about the layoffs came to light. The layoffs came after Microsoft reported 198 billion in revenue, and as it continues to its efforts to acquire Activision Blizzard for 69 billion. So you see, obviously, when you lay off people, you do that to save money. And this
Yes.
is the amount of money that they're not they're saving. This is the money that they reported in revenue, 198 billion, and yet they're still laying people off.
198 billion, and you still laying off people? Jeez, man.
Okay, now this is an update from January 21. So that was like, what was that? That's that was Saturday. A thread from a known Halo leaker, Bathrobe Spartan, suggests that 343 Studios is losing one third of its workforce or more than 130 employees. Additionally, the rumors say that as a result of this, the studio plans to halt development of single player campaign style content for Halo Infinite and Halo in general for the foreseeable future.
Hmm.
So what they're saying is this guy who had gotten stuff right about Halo in the past, like Halo content and stuff like that, he's saying that 343 is going to lose like what, like 130 employees, and they're going to be done making content for Halo Infinite. Now, the reason why that's important is because before Halo Infinite became a thing, they committed to a 10-year cycle for Halo. So they promised that they were going to keep content alive for Halo Infinite for 10 years.
For just Halo Infinite only.
Mm-hmm.
So which means we wouldn't be getting like a sequel or a prequel or
No,
anything like that. It was just gonna be straight Halo Infinite for 10 years.
yeah. So pretty much any single player content. It's kind of like what they do with GTA Online, right? Like everyone who likes the single player GTA 5, all we wanted was single player DLCs. And what they did, they took Rockstar took the energy for that and put that into into their money maker, which is the online. So you see all these trailers when it comes to new characters, new missions, all that stuff is done online. Can't do it
Yeah.
all.
Yeah, you can't pretty much they neglected the single player content where you could play offline pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So okay. All right. So Bathrobe Spartan also concludes that moving forward, 343 Industries will coordinate additional updates of Halo Infinite multiplayer while continue to outsource the game to partner studios like Skybox Labs, Sparrowsoft, and Current Affinity. Supposedly, these layoffs will not affect Halo Infinite's planned content release, such as the expected launch of Season 3, Echoes Within, on March 7th. We are not able to confirm that the information from this thread is accurate at the time of writing, and sources familiar with Windows Central have said that no single player DLC plans were canceled because none ever existed beyond conversations. 343 Industries studio head Pierre Hines, has also since posted a response via Halo official Twitter account. Halo and Master Chief are here to stay, he wrote. V42 Industries will continue to develop Halo now and in the future, including
Hmm.
epic stories, multiplayer, and more of what makes Halo great. So, yeah, so I saw that response on Twitter. Let me see. Is there anything else here? Let me see. Okay, so with the onset of volatile economic conditions and recession looming, several major tech companies like Amazon, Alphabet, and Meta have laid off thousands of workers. Yesterday, Microsoft announced that it intends to do the same, with a plan to cut 10,000 employees from the company between now and June 30, 2023. These layoffs have an impact on a wide variety of teams underneath Microsoft's banner, including Microsoft Gaming Division and its developers. So far, affected studios include 343, the Coalition, and Bethesda Game Studios. As more details about the layoffs come to light from the industry sources such as 3434 as more details about the layoffs have come to light from industry sources such as former 343 developer Chi Chu, it's become clear that 343 Industries in particular was hit hard by the cuts. Chu commented that over 60 employees were laid off from the studio, with Bloomberg reporting that the developers campaign team was affected significantly. Now, since the launch late 2021, the latest game from the developer Halo Infinite has struggled to support its free-to-play live service model with a steady stream of content and adequate solutions for the title's technical issues. In
Hmm.
the wake of the recent layoffs, former multiple former 343 industry employees have come forward with scathing criticism of Microsoft leadership and management policies, arguing that both Halo Infinite and 343 Industries would have been in a better position if it's not for incompetent leadership.
Wow. Damn, man.
Okay, okay. This guy Patrick Wren, he was the one. He was the most um like he was the most scathing on this, right? And he worked for Respawn. He
Right.
worked for Respawn, which is I'll pop this up. But these were his tweets. Right. So the layoffs at 343 Studios shouldn't have happened at Halo, and Halo Infinite should have been in a better state. The reason for both of these things is incompetent leadership up top during Halo Infinite's development, causing massive stress on those working hard to make Halo the best it can be. Let me see. The people I work, the people I work every day with were passionate about Halo and wanted to make something great for the fans. They helped push it for a better Halo and got laid off for it. Devs still there are working hard on that dream. Look at Forge. Be kind to them during these awful times. So he's blaming leadership.
He's blaming
And we
leadership
look
also.
mhm. and we look at what and obviously what was I gonna say? Yeah, obviously he was upset about it, and I think he made another tweet clarifying. Ren made additional comments in the follow-up thread, clarifying his intent and explaining the rationale behind his statements. I was mad that friends. Okay, it's right here. Just wait for it to pop up. Okay, I was mad that friends and ex-colleagues were hurt due to a road of choices that led to this outcome outside of their control. I felt like I had to say something, even if I did it, potentially risking opportunities for me in the future. I'm not looking to break NDAs or do a tell-all. The point wasn't to shit talk, but to finally call out the lack of accountability and how that affected others. Failure is seen as bad for business, but should be a step towards something greater for it. How can you really move forward without experimenting and messing up? The difference between bad and good leadership is that good leadership admits when they're wrong. They try to do what they think is best because they believe in it. Sometimes that decision may not be, but good leaders take accountability for the decisions regardless. When it comes to Halo, we we are where we are. Some people's decision had greater effects, but every single one did. I know looking back, I did the best I could, but sometimes I got it wrong. Pelicans and BTB did not land in the way I had hoped, and part of that is on me. As I said, there are still amazing people working hard at 343, and I have made sure they are supported as they are doing their best with what is at hand to make great things. I'm sure we all won't agree on every decision made, but I believe in them. So I am tweeting today with many people looking at my tweets and try to use this moment to better things for those in the industry. I'm sure my words aren't going to change much in the grand scheme of things, but if it affects even a little, then it's worth it. So yeah, he had a lot to say.
He had a
And
whole lot to say.
yeah,
My goodness.
really his thing is that leadership is the reason why Halo Infinite is in the position that they're in. That's what he's saying.
Yeah.
And we talked about with Ubisoft, and we all agree that Ubisoft is the reason why the leadership at Ubisoft is why they're shit now. And the thing is, when it comes to leadership at 343, the guy who's in charge and all that is Phil Spencer.
Yeah.
He's the guy that's in charge of all of it. You can talk about the devs, you can talk about the leadership at the studios themselves, but the main guy who you should look at is Phil Spencer. Because he said a long time ago, if we lose our way with Halo, we lose our way with Xbox. Halo is Xbox. Now it
Correct.
could it could be like like you said, they bought what's that they bought Minecraft, which is a huge deal. It's a big franchise. It's a bigger franchise than Halo right now. Right? Then they bought Activision. They bought Bethesda. They're buying all these studios and buying all these properties. But Halo is Xbox, and the state that this game is in is unacceptable. It really is unacceptable. And I also thought about this. And I know you always criticize me for thinking for this type of thinking, but this is why I always say that I don't mind if developers move on from a franchise. I don't mind because look at what happened with Halo. When Bungie left, Halo was on top of his game. It was the top game, and it really was one of the top first-person shooters on console. Definitely number one.
Yeah.
When Bungie was with them, but then Bungie left because they wanted to do something new, and Microsoft, for whatever reason, wouldn't let them. So they decided to buy so Microsoft bought the franchise and gave it to 343 Studios. 343. And you give this franchise to a studio, and I know there's a lot of there are a lot of Bungie people who work there. But at the end of the day, it's not the same collective mindset that made the earlier Halo games. Is at the end of the day, they're different people, and when you have different people making a game that you love, and it don't hit, like what happened with Halo 4 and Halo 5 and Halo Infinite, then people are going to be pissed off about it, and rightfully so. And I think you wouldn't have this backlash if they had just made something new. Now again, whatever new they made could have been bad, but at least hey, you know what? This studio is not good. Instead of putting Master Chief and the franchise through the bullshit that it's been through over the past 10 years. And this is coming from someone who actually likes Halo. I liked Halo 5 and I liked Halo 6 and I mean Halo Infinite. But anyone who said that Halo is in the same level it was 15 years ago are lying to themselves.
I mean, they have so much competition now. When you look at Call of Duty, and when you look at other games, even if you don't take them seriously, like people isn't are you a fan of Overwatch?
No.
Okay, but people love that game. People
Yeah.
love what's the other game? The one that you can also build stuff.
Minecraft.
No, no,
Oh,
no, no.
Fortnite.
Yeah, Fortnite. Like there's so much competition now to where it's more difficult for Halo to stay in their A game. And now with Call of Duty, pretty much took over. They're the cash cow right now. They're the king right now. It's really hard for Halo to make a comeback. Now, yeah, I will always disagree with you when it comes to starting something new, because whenever you want to start something new or you want to go to a different direction, we don't see the beloved franchises anymore. Like, I know you appreciated what Sony did by moving on from Crash and Spyro and Jack and Dexter and etc. etc. But look at all the other games that Sony was involved in that we don't have anymore. People was hoping for a new Saffron Filter. We don't have one. People was hoping for a new Legend of Dragoon RPG game. We don't have that. So there's so many franchises. Like we always complained about Nintendo. They have so many franchises at their disposal, but they don't utilize them. And I don't want other companies to follow that same that same formula. Oh, let's start something new, but by starting something new, we're gonna neglect all the success that we had in the past. Like I don't buy that.
Let me push back on that a little bit, because you mentioned Crash, right? Naughty Dog is the one that created Crash, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, if they had stuck with only making Crash games, you don't get Jack and Dexter. In turn, you don't get Uncharted, and then in turn, you don't get The Last of Us. And I don't know if you realize this, but The Last of Us TV show right now is probably the hottest show on out right now. And because of how good the show's done, the sales of that game has gone up. And it was already a mega hit to begin with.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So, like I said before, I agree that not everything is gonna happen the way that it did for Naughty Dog, but you look at a company like them, look at how much they've grown over the past 30 years, and they would not have done that if they just stuck making Crash games every year. And I don't want that, because I wasn't the biggest Crash fan growing up.
Well, my thing is this: if you wanted to move to a different direction, that's fine. But look how long has it been before we eventually had a new Crash game? Like, it's been so long, like what, like 3 generations before we finally had a new Crash game.
Yeah, but Activision is the one that bought it.
Yeah, yeah, but I didn't like that either, because look what they did to it. They pretty much ruined that franchise once it was bought. We talk about the same guy who was pretty much in the same plane, or at least close to it, when they were pretty much rivals against Mario and Sonic. You know what I'm saying? Like, if when you're at the level at that where you can compete with those two, like, that's special. That's special. The franchise was always in a good direction, and all of their side
But
games,
would
whether
they
it was,
would they be that would they be that right now? Because I don't think so.
well, we don't know that because they pretty much let that franchise go.
Yeah, and they did better work as a result of it.
Well, that's what I mean. If you want to go to a new direction, that's fine. But at the very least, give us options. That was the favorite phrase that you always like to use. It's good to have options. If you're going to make Uncharted and you want to make Last of Us, you can make those, but can't you at least in the process give us at least one Crash game once in a while? That's all I'm saying. Just give it to us, once in a while. Like, give us once in a while, give us um a Jack and Dexter. Just don't neglect the franchise or the IP completely, like Nintendo has been doing. Look how long people has been asking for an F-Zero game. Look how long people has been asking for um a Kid Icarus or a Star Fox game. We haven't gotten anything. And I don't want Sony to follow the exact same suit like Nintendo's been doing, and just neglect everybody else. That's what I'm saying. Like, if you want to make new games, new IPs, that's good. but once in a while, can you at least give us your other franchises as well? But when it comes to Halo, I
Mhm.
also want to say this that um I don't think they really took that franchise seriously like they used to. Because if you remember back after Halo 3, we had Halo Reach, we had Halo. I think it was Halo ODST. I think that's how you
Mhm.
said it. Yeah, Halo
Yeah.
ODST. And then you had this Halo strategy game. It was
Halo Wars.
yeah, Halo Wars. So
But three
they
four three didn't make those games.
hmm?
343 didn't make those games.
Who made those games at the time?
All those is either Bungie and the Halo Wars game is made by. Actually, let me look this up. I'll look it up.
Okay, while you're looking it up,
Mhm.
I'll continue. So we've had multiple Halo games before to the point where the Halo brand was getting so big that it started to branch off into something else where we had Halo Wars. Like when do you ever see a first person shooter do something like that? Like when did you ever see that? When you look at I mean if you want to count Call of Duty because now we have Warzone. I mean I guess you
Mhm.
could probably make somewhat comparison that it's not really part of the Call of Duty universe, if you will. But at the end of the day, though, Halo was such a big deal, but now it pretty much turned into is I don't know. I don't want to think. I don't want to say that they should move on from the franchise from the IP. I just think they just need to really take their time with this from now on. And what I mean by taking their time, you're gonna disagree with me on this. But the same way how Rockstar takes their time trying to perfect all of their Grand Theft Auto games, I think it's a big brand.
Yeah,
It's a
can you
big brand.
repeat what you said? You blacked out for a second.
I said, look how I said you may disagree, but when you see how Rockstar how they take their time and try to perfect all of their Grand Theft Auto games, I think Microsoft now needs to reevaluate how they're making Halo from now on because Halo is such a big brand. Having a bad Halo, like how what it would the devastation it will cause to the huge community if Grand Theft Auto 6 is actually a bad game. Like, there'll be a huge uproar if it was a bad game. You're receiving that now with Halo. Like that's not good.
No, but no, I maintain Halo Infinite is a good game. It's a good game. The problem is that when it comes to one, they tried to turn a AAA franchise into a free to play game, and I don't think you can do that with that game. Can't do it. And the like I said, I always complain. My biggest problem with the game is the progression system. You don't get jack shit for winning matches. You don't get
Yeah,
anything useful for winning matches. And even with Call of Duty, you get cool stuff for winning in Call of Duty. You get even better stuff from winning in battle, doing well in Battlefield. The one that I'm playing right now. I have major issues with that fucking game, but I'll talk about that in the video. Um, but to me, like when it comes to Halo, I think there a that game has an issue with it has an identity crisis, and the reason why it has the identity crisis is because you have a studio that did not create the game making the game, and they have to make their own story, or not make their own story, but they have to like improvise their own stuff, and if you don't hit on it correctly, fans are not going to be okay with that.
yeah,
And to me, I think what they should have done is they should have made something original and then build on that. And if they're good and you feel like they're ready to take on a studio take on a game like Halo, and reimagine Halo, then yeah, I would have done that instead of just making a studio just so you can make Halo. Hey, you're created because you're making Halo. They did the same thing with the Coalition. Coalition was created just to make Gears of War, and Gears of War is like, and you know, I don't hate Gears of War. I think that Gears of War gameplay is a bit outdated in my opinion.
Well,
But,
why?
but
Wait, why do you feel that way?
it feels stiff. It feels too stiff for me personally. It feels too stiff for me. But you know, at the end of the day, it does feel more like Gears than Halo does with Halo. It feels more like Gears, but even people who like Gears complain about some of the stuff they did with that game. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
Like
really?
the earlier Gear game were gritty, were very gritty, and these are not. And these are not. You know what I'm saying? Like the characters, people don't like the characters. You know, I get people don't hate the story too much, but apparently the ending of 5 was people didn't like, and it's like, you know, like people are always gonna complain about something, but to me, when you take away the studio that creates a game, it's very hard to just push it to another studio and have them continue making it. I always feel like,
Yeah,
yeah, I always feel like studios need to create their own stuff and not just piggyback off of what was made before, unless it's like a remake or whatever.
yeah, that makes sense. That actually makes sense.
Yeah. So
I mean, look, I mean, I'm still going to stand by what I said. What I said earlier. I still believe that what they should do now is because since Halo is such a big deal, like it's such a big brand. You know, pretty much similar how what what Mario and Zelda means to Nintendo. You know what I'm saying? Like what Sonic means to Sega, what Gears of War, not Gears of War, what God of War and Last of Us, means to Sony and the PlayStation brand. Like now, just take your time with the game from now on, and if it's going to take 5, 6, 7 years,
I mean, Halo Infinite
to
took six
make
years.
what happened.
Halo Infinite took 6 years.
Well, yeah, if it's but the Grand Theft Auto took like 10 years every time. Every time there's a new game, it's like a decade.
Well, I
Or
mean, the updates they've done for that game have taken like multiple cycles of consoles. But as far as the creation of the game, I don't know. But
yeah, it,
I don't want 343 to do what Take Two did with Grand Theft Auto. I don't want them to do that either. Because
no. I don't.
all they've done is re-release the same fucking game. That game, you do know that game came out on the PS3, right? Originally came out on the PS3.
Yeah, PS3 and 360. Yeah,
Yeah, and now the game is getting bragged about releasing on PS5 some time ago. It's
yeah,
ridiculous.
and I don't think there was really that much improvement on the graphics at all.
No, nothing to write home about.
Yeah.
And you know,
So,
look,
I do agree with you there, but I do want them to take their time, with their game from now on, make the game perfect, make it a masterpiece, from now on when it comes to Halo. Every other franchises, no, but with the Halo brand, I think you're gonna have to do that from now on. You can't you have to do it because you can't piss off the fan base. Not on Halo,
yeah.
not on Halo.
I mean, they already did that, man. Like all these videos I watch about Halo Infinite doing this and that and 343 and this and this, it's uh it's a shame. It really is.
Yeah,
But, let me read a couple comments, then we can get out of here. Um, Brian said that I like the sniping in gameplay. It wasn't all but stealthy, but it ate so many hours. Yes, they were very familiar. I like Division 1 and 2. Okay. Ruben said that not excited by the sound of it, but when I saw it, it looks all right, just not excited. And he said that
Um,
he
like
loves
the
WS.
thing,
Hmm? Go
yeah,
ahead.
the thing with the division, like when I saw it on E3, I thought it was going to be a completely different, type of shooter, and I thought that this was going to enhance, um, the industry somewhat. Like I thought this was going to be like what the impact how Gears of War did when they came out with the first two games. I don't know if you remember that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and with Halo 3, I thought the division was going to have like an impact like that because I thought that wow, this is going to be a completely new experience because the way that they were playing it on E3 was just phenomenal. But of course, we got tricked and it didn't come out the same way. And the same way how I felt about Watch Dogs, I thought, wow, like this is completely revolutionary. But once we got the game, it it just turned out to be just a regular game.
Yeah, yeah, pretty much. Ruben says I play Halo, but it keeps crashing on Steam. Should update my G card. Yeah, yeah. He say he meant that about Mario Park. But all right. Well, on that,
He meant that yeah, with Mario Park. Yeah, you do. I'm telling you, man. If you want to go, bro, let's make a plan because I do want to plan on going around March. If not March,
March.
then
That's not during
yeah.
E3.
No, I'm talking about. Oh, he's talking about E3. I'm talking about the Mario Park. I'm talking about the Mario Land.
So you want to do both separately?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, if that's the you want to go in March? Uh, yeah.
I mean,
You
what's
see,
wrong?
that's not enough time.
How's that not enough time? We're in January right now.
Okay, that's not enough time. 2 months in asking for a vacation.
That's not enough time to request um a week off or whatever off.
Not for me. No.
Oh,
I need 1 week. I need 1 week vacation. 1 week recovery.
are you kidding me? You need a recovery from vacation?
Yeah, man. I ain't young no more. Like, come on. I need time to recover.
Wait. You need rest from a
Yeah,
vacation?
yeah.
What do you think a vacation is?
I mean, we're gonna be going to this park every day. They're not rest.
I mean, I guess. I guess, man.
Anyway, listen to the podcast, man. We're almost at 4 hours. But anyway, it was a good
Yeah,
podcast today. Good podcast today. Let me read some reply. Let me read some. Let me do the roll call. Ruben, thank you for watching. Brian, thank you for watching. Critical Drop, thank you for watching. David, thank you for watching. Shout out to you, Lazaro. Like I said, I'm not on Facebook that often, but I'll try to hit you up and say what's up. All right. So
yeah. I am planning on Lazaro. Like, yeah, big shout out to you, Lazaro. I think this is the first time, or just a couple of times, where you actually came to our podcast. But I am planning on going back on Facebook soon, and
you are.
yeah, I'm planning on going back there soon. And yo, Lazaro, yeah, we definitely we all need to like hang out real soon. And I'm not just saying it just to say it because like I do think you're cool, you're awesome. So yeah, we should definitely hang out soon, man. If you're up to it, no
Gosh,
pressure.
Nolan said that I do need a day off after vacation. Yeah, man. Like you need some time. You need some time off, man.
He
Like,
said he said a day off, not a week off.
all right. Well, I need a week off. Definitely more than 1 day. So yeah. So Ryan Meadows, thank you for watching. Conspiracy Agent, thank you for watching. Uh, Bettina, thank you for watching. Let me see. Oh, Joshua, thank you for watching. And I think that's it. Oh, F, thank you for watching.
Rosemary.
Rosemary, thank you for watching.
Yeah, you forgot some people.
Yeah. Anyways, next Thursday, we're gonna be doing another tier list.
About time.
Yeah, we're gonna do a Tekken tier list. All right. Now, with that said, I know people are looking forward to that. The next month, March, around March, we're going to be doing another tier list. We're going to be doing a handheld tier list.
Now that one was overdue, way overdue, because we
Oh,
talked about we was gonna do that when we were doing the console tier list.
yeah, we are going to do a handheld tier list, and that's going to be fun. But first off, we'll do the Tekken one because we were supposed to do the Tekken one like months ago when Tekken 8 was announced. We just never got around to it, so we're gonna do it here. This is kind of like a fun trip down memory lane. Regarding one the greatest 3D fighting game franchise of all time. No game come close to that. So we'll talk about that. We'll have our regular podcast um on Monday. Hopefully nothing bad happens. We'll have a regular show on Monday. Then that Thursday we'll do the tier list, and then yeah, but that's really about it.
Yeah, we will definitely do that. I'm definitely looking forward to it, and I had other tier list rankings, planned, but obviously Hoovy was a little iffy about it. I wanted to do a Mario one, but
No, that's too much.
yeah, he didn't want to partake in that. So I don't know what's going to happen because I know for a fact Seaford will like to do it. Zelda, he didn't play much of Zelda anymore. So there's really, I mean, I was thinking, well, maybe a Soul Calibur one, maybe, but we'll talk about it and we'll see what other rankings we could do in the near future because I really do want to do more. I absolutely would like to do more. So but yeah, like the conspiracy agent said, what is that? So right, wait, 8 people? What does that mean?
I gotta ask them.
I don't know what you mean, conspiracy agent, but yeah, we're gonna be doing more, and once again, I know a lot of you, well, some of you will probably like post something like will instant message me or something like that. But on that Thursday, it is only going to be the ranking. Like we won't be talking about sports or anything like that. Even if it's like it would have to be something like extremely drastic, like LeBron James get traded or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Like it would have to be something really, really, really major. But most likely it'll just be the ranking. But I'm definitely looking forward to it. So, all that being said, it's time to go. Time to go to sleep. This is the Traditionalist 101 signing out. Have a good one.
We 186. We out.
Appreciate you guys. Don't forget to like.